Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round 4 of the Adrenaline Racing Community's GR3 Championship season. We're here at the beautiful Mount Panorama Bathurst Circuit in Australia, and my name is Lateral G, and I'm joined in the commentary booth by...
Savoy, how are you doing today, Lateral?
I'm doing quite good, Savaloy. Now, normally, I would bring up the points after the last round. However, due to the postponement we had of round 3 due to connection issues in Lavier, the points have not been tallied yet, so the points are still the same what we have for round 2. So hopefully after this round we can get an update of the points and an update on that third round. It will be hosted next Sunday, or there's upcoming Sunday I should say, on May 10th. Normally that would have been an off week, but because it just fit in the schedule, that round 3 at Laguna Seca for Tier A will be happening then.
Oh, okay then, lovely.
But other than that, how are you doing today, Savaloy?
Hopefully the polyphony servers are working out here tonight, and hopefully we get to see some exciting racing here at the historic Mount Panorama circuit. I'm just looking here on my screen because I'll be talking over the qualifying in Lobby B. But I think, to me, the car really to beat around here is the Nissan GTR. They are looking superbly quick around here. You've got the likes of Thomas and Kobu, who we know has been very quick around here. So, you know, this could be a very good day for the GTR boys here.
Well, it's been a very good season for them so far overall. They've had a very strong race at Red Bull Ring with, I think it was 3 cars in Lobby A. Then they had a super strong race at Monza. Most of them ended up in Lobby B at Laguna Seca, but even then they had Kobu winning that Lobby B race. We have yet to see what happens in Lobby A, as I mentioned earlier. But here, they're definitely quick. And what we have for the track record, which I will bring up in the lap guide in a second, I think we're going to see a track record broken here for ARC today.
Yeah, I think, you know, normally we've done a lot of races here, and I think this always been the quickest time has always been a low 2-minute one. And I think looking at the drivers here tonight, I think that we're going to go into the 2 minutes. If you can get an awesome slipstream off of it, like guys ahead of you, we could possibly break the 2-minute barrier around here. It possibly sounds impossible, but it possibly can be done. So you don't know. Like, I mean, it's the cars are looking just quicker and quicker by every season, though, haven't they?
Speaking of doing laps around here at Mount Panorama, let's jump over to our Savoy's lap guide of the Bathurst circuit.
The drivers will be facing maximum concentration for every lap around Mount Panorama. Yes, we're back again at Bathurst for the halfway point of the championship. Just shy of 3.9 miles, a whopping 23 corners. Do not get yourself intimidated between turns 3 to 18 when you see the barriers on your left and on your right. Let's take a look at a hot lap around Bathurst. So here we go, this is a lap around Mount Panorama. Me, Savoy behind the wheel of the Porsche 911 as created by the wonderful person that is Marvelous Designs. Anyways, we're going into turn 1, hell corner, second gear, 70 miles an hour. Use over curve on the exit up towards the mountain straightaway. This is where the first of 2 penalty zones will be. Stay on the right hand side, and you can see how visually this track is so narrow. You could just stick at least 3 cars side by side without a little bit of door banging. Now we pass the mountain straightaway, now getting ourselves ready for turn 2 Griffins. Down 2 gears to third, and then this is where we start the incline on the mountain. Turn 3 is right here before we go into the cutting. Down again 2 gears. Do not dip your right side tyres below underneath that right line, because it will make the car very understeer. And now this is where the drivers will have to face maximum concentration around here. This is turn 7 Reed. Again, little error for mistake, otherwise you'll be tasting wall here and then. This is turn 9 Sermon. Right here, again, little lifts off the throttle, stay in 4th gear. This is turn 10 McPhillamy. Again, a little lift off the throttle, stay in 4th gear. Now we're going into Skyline, into the S's, turn 12, turns 13, 14, and then 15. Do not shortcut that corner right there, past the Firestone Bridge. Down the incline of the mountain we go now, and now into the Dipper. Down to 2nd gear, about 60 miles an hour. That's turn 18, past the Falcon Bridge. Once you've completed all that concentration, there's a little break here as we're going down towards the Conrod straightaway, and this is the second of the penalty bounds. Again, stay on the right hand side of the track. So then you're now just taking yourselves a nice little breakaway, but then you have to pay yourself attention. Go to the left hand side of the track, use all that pavement there, the access pavement, brake hard. Turn 21, the chase, down into 2nd gear. It's a fast straight before breaking down there. Back on the power you go, 3rd gear, past the Almirold Bridge. This is the last corner, is approaching Murray's corner. There's the entrance to the pit lane. Braking between 150 metre board, down into 2nd gear. That's turn 23, past the bridge, and that is a lap around Bathurst.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and qualifying is now underway. We have a lot of the drivers starting their outlaps here in Lobby. We see Alex Rogers being the first out of the pits on his outlap. But for an update on the penalties that will take effect on this round, the only penalties we'll have for this race are Iceman and Mini Conan have to serve drive-through penalties, and that should happen, I believe, in the first 3 laps of the race, if I'm not mistaken. So only penalties to be served here today. Let's go on board with Alex Rogers here. He's going to be starting his very first flying lap, and I know he's pretty quick here. I've seen him drop a 2:07 in a practice lobby earlier. So let's see what he can do here as he exits Murray's corner and moves across the line to start his first flying lap. And I do believe, Savoy, if you'll fill in, we do have a couple of fill-ins for this race.
Yes, we do. We've got a few people in Lobby B. A couple of making their debuts, actually, but we have seen them in the ARC Championships before. Jake Dan Hardy, he's making his debut this season. He's driving a Nissan GTR. Just trying to get a picture of it. There it is, right there. Just driving with the SAS livery. And the King of the Mountain, PKMZ, he is racing in that Alfa Romeo. Trying to think if there's any other new drivers around here. DRE Matty, he's back again. We didn't see him race obviously last week because of the connection issues that we had, so hopefully we may see him. And also Knoxville, who is driving a special livery for his team, Apex Racing, which is in memory of Ayrton Senna, because this is also the weekend that we lost Ayrton Senna, and Roland Ratzenberger, in that terribly tragic day in Imola 1994. So Knoxville there showing sporting a nice, gorgeous looking Senna tribute livery.
That is nice to see. Ayrton Senna, one of the greats of all time. But here in ARC, we run GT cars, not Formula 1 cars. Currently watching Alex Rogers come to the end of his lap here as he heads on to the Conrad Straight. I would say Alex Rogers is one of the greats of ARC so far, Season 3 champion, someone who's filling in, running only a few races this season, but definitely still one of the fast guys. Let's see what he can do here.
That's the most...
Sorry, I'll let you go.
I was just about to say, he's the most winningest driver in the ARC. I think he's had 10 wins to his name, which is like a country mile than anyone else. I think the next nearest guy's Lem 6. So let's see what Alex can do going around Paris. Just to keep an eye on the lap times here in Lobby B.
First lap across the line is going to be a 2:01.5. It's still good. That should be good enough to keep him in Lobby A, but we know he can do better. Let's see what Chili can do. Chili, he's going to come up. He was purple there. Stig, he's going to come across the line second with a 2:01.7, so Stig be able to get some solid time in. Chili with a 2:01.8. Let's see what ACG Alex can do. He comes across the line with a 2:03. Kubu's going to cross the line with a 2:02.2. Let's see what Techno can do here. The Corvette goes very wide in the last corner. Mini Conan, you can see right behind him. He's not going to be the best lap. Do that poor exit. Cross the line 2:03. Another 2:03 from Mini Conan. Let's see what Hideki can do. It's going to be a 2:01.9. The man who's on pole for that Laguna race that we're going to be hosting, or who was on pole, qualified on pole for the Laguna race, but we got a grid place penalty he has to serve. Let's see what Mr. DM Charles can do in that Porsche. Actually, he's on an outlap here, so he won't be able to set a time. Let's see what Mermaid can do. He's on a flying lap. Rounding Murray's corner here. Coming across the line with a 2:03.8 for his first lap. Let's see what Iceman can do with that GTR. Very powerful car here. 2:02.8. The drivers here is Lance, who's also on an outlap. And then Wise Guy, who's on a flying lap here. So let's see what Wise Guy can do. He's going to get an extra 2 minutes of qualifying with Pit Bug, but had to rejoin, so he's getting an extra 2 minutes. As he goes through the chase, let's go on board. A little bit of a tail happy there as he goes under the Armor All Bridge. Braking at the 75 meter. And through Murray's very nice and stable, back on the throttle as early as he can. Just a touch of the exit curve. Let's see what it's going to be as he crosses the line. It's going to be a 2:01.9 for Wise Guy. Bugatti on current provisional pole as there's 4 minutes left in qualifying with a 2:01 flat, which is a 2:01.05. Not quite meeting the qualifying record just yet.
What's the time? What did you say?
2:01.05.
Yeah, that's beating it. Lemmy did a 2:01.233.
The qualifying record, yes, but overall lap record, not quite yet. I believe the overall lap record was PK with the 01.03.
Yeah, 030, yeah.
Wouldn't mind, let's give us a bit of an update on Lobby B.
Right, so it's just cars that are just in a massive train together. It's quite carnage here. But anyways, we've got 3 minutes to go. Cruiser for Polestar is on pole. 2:23.23, followed by Havoc in the the Porsches for Team Apex. He's nearly 6 tenths slower than Kuja's time. Then ARC Matty, guest in the older Mercedes vehicle. He's sitting third with a 2-minute 3.051, and it's Pierre in the Jag. 2-minute 3.812, followed by MJ Walter in the Chevrolet, and then DRE Matty kind of struggling in that Super there, as I'm just seeing Alec having a huge moment out after McPhillamy, but Matty's improving, so I think he was like nearly half a second up in the second sector. Jerry Bear, who was replacing Robocopy for Sandy Balls, he sits in 8th, followed by Riley Coyote. Oh no, someone's just gone up. Knoxville's just gone up to 3rd. 2-minute 2.884 in that Senna livery. 9th is Jerry Bear now, and Riley Coyote, his teammate, Jerry Bear's new teammate, is sitting in 10th, and only just a 10th separated them, but 3.1 off. Now your new current pole sitter, PK, in the Alfa Romeo, the King of the Mountain, 2-minute 1.781. I just went over half a second quicker than Kuja's time, so PK's gone into the 201s as we've got 2 minutes to go until the end of qualifying Lobby B, sorry.
We got 2 minutes left in Lobby A as well, and Kobu currently purple by 3/10, and he had the slipstream of Nugatti round that back Conrad straight, and he's still in the slipstream behind him as he exits the chase. Let's see if Kobu can actually go pull. Nugatti will pull into the pit lane, so he's going to make a pit stop. Put a new set of rubber on that car. Will Kobu go pull? Was he able to keep the speed up through the chase in Murray's corner? He comes up to the line. Looks to be a good lap. 2-minute 0.7 from Kobu.
That is half a second quicker than Lemmy's qualifying lap record. And we have said, and he stops it like traditional, whenever they just have a solid lap time, they just park it to the side.
0.7 not only beats the qualifying record, but it's overall track record. But Nugatti, actually, who may just be his pit stop, or he actually pulled out of the way from Kobu. It looked like he was going to the pits, didn't quite go in. But he's actually purple in that first sector. He's still purple ahead of Kobu, even though he pulled out the exit at the Murray's corner. So you'd think he would have lost a bit of time there, but still running fast. So let's see what he can do if he'll still be purple as he heads up the mountain here. Touches the inside. Oh, that's not going to help him. Maximize the track width over the top of this mountain. Use that outside curve. Use it to pitch yourself in. Let's see what the split is. Down, but he can still improve. If he can get downhill section of the mountain right, he could get an improved lap time. Let's see what he can do. Let's go on board as he heads down now through the dipper into the Forest Elbow. Conrad straight. This is the sector bridge. Not quite.
Right. No.
Qualifying is now over. I can type. Qualifying is now over. You see Chili, who's just finished his lap, he's done. Dan's, who's actually purple in that first sector, so let's see if Dan's can improve. Didn't look like Nugatti was going to be able to. Dan's current leader in the points. With a swirly moment heading up the mountain, and let's see if we can go on board with him as he heads over the crest here. Through Skyline and now through McPhillamy. Yeah, the R8 bridge with the sector split is. He's improving, but he's not quite purple. So far, Kobu's still on that provisional pole position. Be a great result from him after winning that Lobby B race. Now down through the dipper for Dan's. As looking at the leaderboard, we see Alex Rogers go second. Let's see what Dan's can do now as he heads onto the Conrad straight. Fifth gear, 250 kilometers an hour, up into sixth.
Oh! Goodness, wow.
Braking just right before the 100-meter board. Gets it turned in. Law goes 5th place. Dan's almost loses the rear end coming out of the chase. Under the Armor Bridge, one more corner to go. Can he improve his time? He might be able to take back that 5th place that Law took from him. crosses the line, and what's it going to be? Doesn't quite improve. Well, he improves, but he doesn't get an increased position. Let's see what anyone else is still doing a lap. We see a few more cars. Let's see if I can find him here. It's going to be Iceman, who's currently 13th in the GTR. Can he improve? Cross the line with a 202. He does. He goes up into 12th. So I'm going to note that wise guy probably over. That's not how you spell wise guy, but I'm trying to do my best here. So let's jump into live timing so we can compare times here. So we have Kobu on pole position, breaking the lap record, overall lap record with a 2-minute .7. Alex Rogers in second with a 2-minute .9. Bugatti third at 2:01.05. Chile in fourth at a 2:01. Also with an 05, but looks like to be, if I get my math right, 5 thousandths of a second separate third and fourth between Bugatti and Chile. Law in fifth in the Citroen with a 2:01.1. Dan's in sixth, 2:01.1. Actually, they got the exact same time. They're tied for fifth.
Oh, wow.
They both have 2:01.144s.
But Law would actually stay in fifth because he had the first time of that.
Yes, so Law got the time first, so he holds on to that fifth place. I think that's the first time we've ever had a timing tie in ARC.
Aye, that is to me, that definitely is.
And we have Charles in seventh for Labier with a 2:01.7, Stig in eighth with a 2:01.75, Mini Konen in ninth, but remember he has a drive-through penalty to serve with a 2:01.7. Hideki Sama after qualifying on pole for that Labier race with a 2:01.9. Wise Guy 11th with a 2:01.9. Then we have Iceman with a 2:02.2, Mermaid 13th with a 2:02.3, ACZ Alex with a 2:03.2, and then Techno with a 2:03.4. And if you would give us the times for Lobby B, that would be great.
I would indeed. Right then, so PK was on pole for a while there with a 2:01.6 dead, but then Thomas just pulled out. He did his flying lap on his last lap and put it on pole position with a 2-minute 1.331. Was nearly 3 tenths quicker than PK's time. Jake Dan Harry finished in third position with a 2-minute 1.880. So it's a GTR positions 1 and 3. Kuja will be fourth, 2-minute 2.323. Followed by DRE Matty with a 2-minute 2.476. He was 12 thousandths quicker than Knoxville with a 2:02.488. I don't think Knoxville's time is good enough to show that livery in Lobby A, I think. If you could do the maths there, Lado. Seventh is MJ Walter, 2-minute 2.837. He was 4 tenths slower than Knoxville. Havoc eighth with a 2-minute 2.920. Then followed by ARC Batty in the older AMG Mercedes car, 2-minute 3.051, followed by Jerry Bear, the new driver of Sandy Bowles, 2-minute 3.273. Then it's Haggis for Pleb Racing, 2-minute 3.674. Pierre in the, I think he was the only Jag in that lobby, 2-minute 3.812, followed by Crow Magna with 2-minute 3.91, and Wiley Coyote, the second of the Sandy Bowles team, the only driver to beat in the 2-minute 4s with a 2-minute 4.884, and that is Lobby B.
Thank you, Savoy, for that Lobby B update. And we're going to wait for the times to come in from the admins here as they compile everything so we can get the races underway. But I just want to go back to that Law and Dance having the exact same time, and if we can look at the sector splits between them, you can actually see where each car is actually kind of faster than the other. In the first sector, they're fairly evenly matched. There are a few 300ths between them in that first sector, so it's not too big of a difference there. But then you get to the second sector, and it's almost a tenth or two between them just going up the mountain in favor of Dan's, and just the torque that V8 has in the front of that AMG.
Yeah, I think the first sector is just one corner, isn't it? And then when you get after Griffins, that's when it's the real test of the drivers. Isn't the second split just when you go into the S's, isn't it? So I think that's where the Mercedes handles a lot better than the Citroen in some aspects, but then when it gets onto, I think it's in the third sector that when they get to the conrod, I think that's when the Citroen can pull its legs away from the AMG. I don't know if there was if Laura is quick advance there. I'm just looking at it on the small screen there. But yeah, I mean that's a first there to see them having joint times. I mean, I remember that in Jerez in 1997 when we had 3 Formula One drivers having the same time. But that's a first for the ARC, like.
That it is, and it's definitely interesting. And someone else in chat noted that if you look at the times here, we have Nugatti with a 201 flat, and then who's in third, and then all the way down to 11th is a 201.9. So you have, if I can get my math right, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 drivers, all within 1 second of each other. And then you factor in the Lobby B guys, which I believe you said there's a few guys within that zone.
Yeah, Thomas definitely should be in tier A with a 201.3.
Yeah, that would put him 201.3. That would put him 5th.
Okay.
Oh, wait, no, Dan's pulled off. Dan's pulled off. He's trying to get the picture so we can get this all sorted. So I'd probably put him around 6th. Sorry.
6th. And then you got PK with a 201.6.
That would put him 7th.
And then you got Jake Dan Hardy with a 201.880.
That would put him probably around 10th.
So realistically, you've got 11 drivers separated by a second.
And then you had Kobu all the way up at front, 2/10 clear of the next closest driver, Alex Rogers, with a 2-minute flat 0.7, breaking the ARC track record.
That's his first ever pole. It's his best ever qualifying was second at Autopolis back in season 2, and he has now gone into pole position. So good job there to Kobu. And again, a great day for Ice-T Racing with having their drivers first. 4th, did you see as well?
I believe it would be 6th with Tommy.
Oh, 6th, sorry. Yeah, so again, this is going to be a great day for Ice-T Racing.
Yeah, they're running away with the points with the constructors' points. It's just you keep getting at 3, almost 4 of the GTRs up there in Lobby A, and they just get all the points. This first 4 races of the season, they're building that gap, and it's almost theirs to lose as long as they can keep fairly consistent throughout the rest of the season. They had a little bit of a hiccup at Laguna, like we mentioned, with I don't think any of the GTRs getting into Lobby A, but it's just you have that pace of these cars. They're building that championship gap now, so it's whether or not they can stay consistent throughout the season, stay in that Lobby A and get some solid points, or if they're going to lose it. I believe if I look at the current points, no, that's the timings from Laguna. See if I can find the current points here from the last race so I can see that's tables. I need to go championship tables here. Menu, that's reserve. Here we go. Yes, they currently have. This was after Monza because we didn't calculate the points for Laguna yet. After Monza, they had 124 points. The next team, which was Team Apex, the Porsches.
The Porsches, yeah.
So I believe some of the Porsches might gain a bit of time on them at Laguna, or close the gap a little bit. But here, we have one Porsche in Charles compared to the 3 in Ice-T, and it's just there's no competition there. Like they can't compete at that point.
Yeah, 3 on 1 is it's a bit unfair, but it just goes to show the power of it just goes down to the tracks, really. I mean, because you see here with Bathurst, there's a lot of straightaways. You got like the Conrod Straight, the Mountain Straight. That's where the GTR will excel in. But then when you get into the corners from like the cutting all the way to the dipper, that's where the Porsches will make up for it. But as you say there, we're having 3 GTRs. In fact, technically 4 because you got Jake Dan Hardy there too.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yeah.
But obviously, Jake's not a teammate to Thomas or Kobu, so he's racing for himself. But in a way, in itself, it's just one-sided. This isn't it. It's just going to be GTR's championship here at this rate.
Almost a throwback to season 1 with the strong performance of Kevin that GTR going into that last race. But I do want to fill in here as we're waiting for the times to be compiled so we can give the official results for everyone's qualified. We do want to give a slight reminder that if you enjoy the content you happen to be watching, if you ever want to be interested and see more, feel free to hit that subscribe button to us over there on YouTube. If you want to see more, if you like what you're seeing, of course, hit that like button. If you want to support us, feel free to join our Discord. There's a link to that below if you ever want to join ARC, compete in some of these races. And if you want to help support us, go check us out over on Teespring. That's teespring.com/stores/adrenaline-racing-community. That takes you to our store. T-shirts, hoodies, mugs, stickers, all there. I'm sure some things will be added here in the future at some point, but that brings a lot to us. We have, I believe it was Stig that mentioned he bought a customized hoodie the other day, so that group, shout out to Stig. Shout out to Stig for that one. So if you ever feel free or want to get one of those, feel free to purchase. It helps us out, helps fund trophies for the end of the year, because that's a thing we do here. We do send out trophies to our champions at the end of the year. And I think that's about it. But just remember to hit that like button and subscribe to us here on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter if you want to get some updates here and there as well. So, another thing, I think a story going into this race is the name of, as we've given him, PK, the king of the mountain, once again in the 4C. The 4C back in season 1, which it's a bit of an infamous 4C, especially around here. But a solid qualifying effort from him, and I think it's going to be up in the air, because Kobu qualified on pole. We know he loves this track. We know he's fast here. We've seen it in the past. That's where not he can keep his nose clean and take the victory here, I think. And then there's Alex Rodgers, who's looking really spicy in that GR Supra, and we know the Supra is great in a straight line. Do you think Nugatti in his 4C has the ability to perhaps keep up with Kobu and Alex Rodgers and even the AMGs of Nugatti and Dan's? Or do you think that Kobu is just kind of keeping himself because he wants that challenge?
I think you've got to look back to Monza when you see the likes of Dan's and Nugatti can actually keep up with those guys. I think it's a foregone conclusion that it will happen. If you throw PK into the mix with his 4C, I mean, the 4C, it's not a technically great car, but you know what PK could do with it. He could play into the mix a little bit. But I think with Dan's and Nugatti, we know what Dan's like. He's the most experienced driver of the ball. He's not missed an ARC race. Nugatti is improving all the time. Yeah, I think it's a high possibility he can keep up with Kobu and with Alex there. Like I said, we saw it at Monza. This track shouldn't be a problem for Dan's and Nugatti.
And what about the best of the rest? What do you think is going to happen there? We have Charles in there with a 101 or 201.7. You have Stegwin a vet with a 201.7. You have Mini Conan with a 201.7, but he does have a drive-through. You have Hideki with a 201.9. That midfield race is going to be usually pretty close in what we've seen in ARC races of the past. That battle for that 4th or 5th or 6th spot is usually really close, especially towards the end of the race. What do you think is going to come out in that midfield? What car do you think is going to end up coming out on top at the end? If I had to bet, I would probably say Stig, just because we know the power of that Corvette in a straight line, and we've seen many times how the 911 is just, it has a hard time competing in a straight line. So if Stig is in front of Charles, I don't think he's going to be able to get that position back. And if I had to bet, I'd probably say Stig, but I mean, again, midfield, anything can happen.
Yeah, anything can happen. It's as you rightly point out, there's normally like a fair few cars that will go out in front, and then you got like this cluster fudge of a battle from like 4th on back. Who will come out on top? Stig's looking. He's probably the best driver out of the Chevrolet camps at the minute. We saw what he did in Monza and that. But, I don't know. You also got Hideki in that list, as you said, and we know how an aggressive driver that he is. And this is a very unforgiving track, especially the second part of the track where it's just you make a mistake, you're going to be kissing the wall. So it's too close to call that, really. I mean, you said you said like a host of drivers within about 3 attempts, like 5 or 6 of them. That's too close to call, really. I mean, I would say possibly Stig. Oh, you got the times up.
Yep.
I would say Stig myself. There, I don't think I put anyone against it.
All right, well, there we have it. As you can see on screen now, how the lobbies are stacking up. So on pole position, as we said before, Kobu is on pole with a 2-minute .7. Alex Rogers in second, Nugatti in third, Chile in fourth, Law in fifth, Dan's in sixth. We see actually a slight difference in time there. It's one with a 1.145, so perhaps a slight timing error. And there you have Thomas in seventh, PK in eighth, Charles in ninth, Stig in 10th, Mini Conan in 11th, but as we mentioned before, he has the drive-through. Jake Dan Harry in 12th, Hideki Sama in 13th, and then we have a wise guy at the back of Lobby A in 14th.
Just 1.2 separating pole to... Actually, that's CSX teammates too. Anyways, am I doing a tier B?
Yes.
Right, okay then. So, Craig J will start on the pole. Iceman, he's got a 7 drive-through. A full 10th ahead or behind Craig J, sorry. Kuja in third overall. Then you got Mermaid. Again, not in a tier A race. That's not good there for Mermaid, considering how quick of a driver that he is. DRE Matting, we're not going to be seeing him in tier A. Knoxville, fortunately, we're not going to see that set of tribute livery on screen. That's unfortunate, but he will start 6th, only 12,000 slower than DRE Matty. Then Darth Knight, how do you pronounce that second name? Nihilus?
Darth Nihilus.
That's the one. With a 2-minute 2.63. I think that's actually the quick time in Lobby C, if I'm correct. Because I didn't see him in Lobby B. Anyway, you got the Baldy one, MG Walter, Havoc DK, FTA, who was 10 thousandths quicker than ARC Matty, Alex Gaiman, and then Notorious DRE, 2.5 seconds off of the fastest time, but it was 1.1 off. And Jerry Bear, the new driver for Sandy Balls, 1.1 off of Predj's time. So that's actually quite close. You got 1.2 separated first to last in Lobby A. And you've got 1.1 seconds between first to last in Lobby B.
Right, it is. So Lobby B definitely getting a lot closer. And we saw that in the Laguna race, just how close that Lobby B was. So it's definitely, the racing is getting a lot faster and a lot tougher for all these drivers as ARC continues on its lifespan. Moving over to Lobby C, we have Techno Guy, a man from Lobby A, qualifying on pole in Lobby C with a 203.4. We have Haggison in second with a 203.6. Pierre in third with a 203.8. Cro-Magnon in fourth with a 203.9. Furious 2 in fifth with a 204.1. Venom Snake in sixth, 204.2. Pingo Phone in, I believe that's seventh with a 204.6. Make sure I get that right. We have Wiley at a 204.8. Rafal with a 205.1, Manikai 205.16, Hoodstack 205.3, Jules Maximus with a 206.3. I think that's 206.3. We have Daryl with a 206.6, and then we have Chris with a 206.8, and then we have Hasselwall with a +5 grid place penalty and a drive-through. I didn't quite see that in the championship notes, but that's there. I think it's because he missed the last race and has to serve it from round 2, if I'm not mistaken. So there you
quite possibly, yeah.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There's the Lobby A once again, just so you can all see it. Kobu on pole as we're waiting for the race to get underway. And are there any surprises from you?
Cro-Magnon, definitely starting in Lobby C. I think that's the first time I've ever seen Cro-Magnon compete in Lobby C. But obviously he's got some problems because he's racing on a controller. Like before, he was racing in with a wheel, but that wheel was broken, and now he's racing on a controller. It's just weird to see how, a few races ago, when you go back to season 3, he was fighting for a win with Alex and Nom at Tokyo, and now he's racing in Lobby C. I mean, that's just how competitive this championship has really become. Also, Techno Guy to be down in Lobby C as well. But he's starting on the pole position as a TNA driver. I think he's possibly the only TNA driver in Tier C. But obviously, in fairness, that's not his fault though, because I mean he's had a lot of work and that to do. So give Get the Techno Guy a little bit of a break. I think no to a bit of a surprise. Looking at Lobby A, I would say the real surprise is Mini Conan in that Jaguar.
Yeah, he did an excellent job to get that Jaguar in the Lobby A, and it's not often we see the Jag in that Lobby A, and he did a great job. It's unfortunate he has that drive-through to serve, because I believe he also missed that round 3, so he wasn't able to serve it there. But yeah. Wait, no, he has it from round 3. Excuse me, I'm mistaken there. I forgot I mentioned it earlier. But it's unfortunate he has that drive-through, and that's going to hurt him throughout this race. But it's good to see him up there, and just outside that top 10 is still a solid result for him in that Jag.
Yeah, and you see the other drivers that are in. The Jag, if I can remember correctly, Alex Gaming is starting 12th. Sorry, that's 13th, isn't it? So I think no. I'm not good at my maths here. Possibly 13th in the grid. I'm trying to think who else is in the Jag. I can't mind. But either way, it's a solid effort for Mini Gordon, anyways, to put the only Jag in the field in Tier A. So he's doing a good job for Mission 1.
That he is. So hopefully, we just trying to make sure everyone on the track can see themselves right now. Make sure we're not no drivers are missing each other, so we don't see any weird anomalies and aliens on the track. But so hopefully we can get this underway and started soon. But what are your predictions now that we have all our qualifying results? Who do you think is going to come out on top in this race?
Oh, it's definitely tight. Oh wow, it's definitely close. You've got some candidates there that are in with a shot of a win. Alex, the Gatti, Chile, Law's right up there too. Dan's, Thomas is looking really good. PK's looking reasonably well in that 4C. I don't know. I mean, if Kobu can, be in that consistent zone for 1 hour, and I mean, you've thrown him under the bridge for far too many times. If he could just be in that zone for 1 hour around here, then as he just spun it on the exit of the Forest Elbow, I'm going to say someone else then. No, I'm going to say Kobu, because I think he loves this racetrack. He's pretty much due a win around here. And it would be nice to see a brand new winner on the top step. I mean, we've seen Alex Rogers win, we've seen the Gatti win, we've seen Dan's win, we've seen Chile win. I think it'd be quite refreshing to see someone new up in at the top step of the podium. So I'm going to say Kobu.
I mean, as much as I have bashed him in the past for the mistakes he's made, I do have to agree with you. It would be nice to see him kind of get that. He did win that Lobby B race by quite a dominant margin that we had at Laguna Seca. So to see him actually carry on that winning streak and bring it here in the Lobby A where he can stay on top, score some really good points for his team, it would be nice to see. But again, it's up to him at this point if he can maintain that consistency. But if he can do it, it'd be great. And another thing I think I want to bring up, because I think you just kind of mentioned it across my mind. I know we've only technically won two races in ARC right now because Lobby A has it run round 3. But in race 1 it was Nugatti that won. In race 2 was Dan's that won. And then in round 3 at Laguna Seca we have Hideki are close up to the top, qualified on pole, but due to grid place penalty dropped down. You have Alex Rogers is up there. And then we have Kobu on pole here. It's quite possible that once we have that Laguna Seca race, we could have had 4 different race winners.
Well, 4 different. Yeah. I was going to say 4 different pole sitters too. But yeah, I mean, it just goes to show how this championship has grown over, because we see that in season 2, Lemmy just pretty much dominated the first half, and then he was doing all right in the second half. But I think we only saw 3 winners in season 2. Season 3, we only saw 2 winners in 6 races with Alex and Chile. And here, possibly, as you said, it might be, well, from the races that we have to now, it possibly could be 3 different winners in 3 races. And I think that's good to see, that we see that different drivers getting on the top step of the podium and that. So yeah, it's great to see. I'm not a particular fan of like a driver dominating and winning all the rounds of the championship and whatever, but this is definitely something amazing here. And it's just refreshing to see different drivers come back in winning the race.
That it definitely is. Especially with our series this close as it is, we have so many drivers who could win. I don't think we've seen Thomas TT win a race yet in ARC history.
No.
But he's definitely
No, he
in a car this season where he could definitely take that win if everything kind of falls into place. He's got podiums in the past. Dan's former champion, Chile, was a man that we saw win his first race in last season. Nugatti win a race earlier. Alex Rogers, champion. Kovu's on pole today. Law, who's doing a great job getting up there, is always kind of in that mix. PKMZ is a race winner. Charles could easily be a race winner on the right track. Stig was almost a race winner at Monza. Like, you have so many drivers in this tier A that the racing is almost unpredictable, and it varies seriously over from season to season on what cars each driver is in. And it's just, it brings such awesome racing. And when you go to all these different tracks and different cars are above others in terms of performance and everything, it's what makes the racing here at ARC just phenomenal.
Yeah. And also, what you say with the qualifying, I think qualifying has been much more closer. As the rounds got on, I think it was, the first round, Red Bull, it was like all the drivers, the top 14 separated by less than a second. You had like Monza, like that was close too. Here, you've got 1.2 separating first to last place. It's the pack has definitely closed up a lot, and you can see the top 10 in this race. It's just less than 1 second between Kobo and Paul to Stig down in 10th. The seasons are getting better and better and better. And I think, season 4 is definitely been better than the last two, put it that way.
and it's not just the seasons that are getting better and better. It's the drivers too. Like, we can see, we can go back and compare times from season 1 at Red Bull Ring to what we have now, and we beat the track record by almost over a second. And the drivers are just improving every season. We have guys like Dan who can do the GT championships and be up in that upper split racing with guys in the top 50 and be competitive. So it's not like these guys are slouches or anything compared to other drivers. There's fantastic drivers in their game and in their own right compared to everyone else outside of ARC.
And speaking of Dan, he's pretty much driven for nearly every manufacturer so far in the seasons gone by. Drove a Lexus in season 1, he was great. Season 2, he drove an Aston Martin. I think he finished second in the points, I think, in season 2. Season 3, he driven the Ford Mustang. It was a little bit of a struggle, but he got the job done in that. And now here he is in the Mercedes, and he's current championship points leader. I mean, what can you say about the guy? He could just drive in any car, and he'll be just unbelievably quick around any track in any different car. I don't know how he does it, but
Yeah, he's doing an excellent job. His car varies from every season. The Lexus, he was almost kind of a sleeper for the championship. He never dominated the season, and then he just kind of happened to win in that lap. I don't want to take that championship away from him, but he kind of he didn't necessarily win any major race, really. He kind of just kept his results consistent, always kind of finished on the podium, and that's what took him the championship.
Yeah.
But then you had that second season where I believe he was in the Aston.
Yeah,
had some strong
Aston,
performances, but it was a bit of a weaker car for him, we found. And then he had the Mustang, which is weaker, but now he's probably in one of the most meta cars of the season, and he's back fighting for wins regularly.
Yeah, I was just going back to season 2. I think the first half of season 2, he was sort of struggling in that Aston. I can't remember the exact tracks to be out for the first half of season, 2 rounds 1 to 4. I know Bathurst was definitely one of them, but I think it was after the 5th round at St. Croix when he got that victory. That was when he was starting to get the hang of the Aston Martin, and he was getting some podium finishes in that. At Monza and then Interlagos, he finished in second place. I think Autopolis, he finished on the podium there. So, that was the second half of the season. Then the third half of the season, we nearly saw Dan didn't make it into Lob Tier A at Kyoto. He was struggling at the back of the field, and he got better as the season got on in that Ford Mustang. I don't think he did get that much podiums is what he expected to, but here in season 4 he's just I think he's found a lovely car to drive at the AMG, and it's just I genuinely don't know how he does it. just practice and dedication, I think, is what it is. And if you do that, then you'll get rewards. And that's what's happening today.
Yeah, Dan's is just, he's one of those drivers, and I don't know if he's ready to announce it or not, so I'm not ready to say, but I'm pretty sure a lot of people have seen it. Yeah, he was talking about it in the Discord chit chat, so I'll say it. He's been looking at getting a wheel. The man, the controller king himself, has been looking at moving up to a wheel. He's been looking at getting...
The tunist!
he's been looking at it, and another thing that to note, I know a lot of other drivers have been looking at eyeing perhaps some other sims and PC sim racing and stuff like that. So a lot of these guys are looking to branch out outside of just Gran Turismo Sport, perhaps even outside of GT racing, trying to grow their skill set and their knowledge base. So, I mean, ARC is just a great place for a lot of people to join. If you happen to be watching and not sure if you want to join, or I don't want quick, so I don't want to compete, your pace doesn't matter to us. If you want to join and you want to compete, feel free to hop in and join, put us through your rookie series, and join us in other races, whether it's one-off races like our Friday night series, our Saturday night super series, or our Monday series, whatever. Or just kind of lobbies we open up and let people join in and race. So always, if you're ever concerned or whatever, feel free to hop in and watch it or race with us. It means nothing to us. We're always happy to join the members, and just like we are currently 334 members. We had just 5 members join today before we started the stream, so everyone's still joining and definitely wanting to watch. So it means a lot to us that you're out watching and join. But it's just, everyone here is super helpful. They're super nice. They're always trying to improve themselves, and that's just the mindset we want to see when you want to see drivers trying to work their way up the ranking and improve themselves.
But as long as you don't, if you don't like pineapple on pizza, then that's fine with me. That's all right. Because I know we do have a bit of a general chat about that occasionally, from time to time, but it does happen. And hopefully, we've got this another stuck check on the way. There has been some problems with this. That's why we've been, constantly talking a bit too much, because we have got some drivers stuck.
Yes, it's a bit of a, we're trying to work within the means that we have here of Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo is not always, it's not the finest of racing games, let's just put it mildly. It has a bit of bugs in there from time to time.
Oh, God.
So hopefully,
sorry, go on.
So hopefully we can get this underway soon. Sorry that it's taking so long. It's not the same connection issues that we've had last time. It's definitely not at the same level, but hopefully it's we can rectify this and get underway soon enough.
Yeah, it's just a problem with Polyphony with their services and that, because we're getting a lot of people that are stuck at the moment, and so I want to try and get this over and done with. The race was supposed to happen 14 minutes ago?
Something like that. It's just we're trying to work within our means, and I didn't mention how a lot of drivers are looking at PC sims, and this is one of the reasons a lot of drivers have been doing it. And Dan's has attested. It's one of the reasons he's probably buying a wheel to look and maybe getting some other races, whether it's Assetto Corsa Competizione, iRacing, R Factor 2. It's just, I know a lot of the guys, especially the admin staff, are starting to get a little bit fed up with Gran Turismo Sport and its little hiccups here and there.
Yeah, well, I just hope I don't know if there was a rumor that another GT Sport's going to come out on the PS5, I think. Hopefully, it might be better servers on that. I don't know if it's official, but if it does come out, I hope the blooming servers are a lot more better than what we have here.
Well, we're getting notification due to PK being stuck several times. He will be starting at the back of the race. So, unfortunate for PK, he's not going to be starting where he was. Let me just try and pull up where his position was there. You can see
it's supposed to be 8th.
So he's going to be starting in 14th of the race. So unfortunate, but we have to work within our means and what we can. We're getting some drivers leaving the lobby now. So hopefully we can actually get this race started. Again, sorry we're taking so long to try and get this underway here. It's just trying to work within our means with everyone trying to connect. We have, again, this is a global racing community. We have people from Americas, Germany, Europe. We have a Norwegian, if I'm not mistaken, and Nugatti.
Yeah, Norwegian, yeah.
We have Alex Rogers from the UK, Jake Dead Harry from the US. We have PKMZ from Ireland. We got Charles from Trinidad and Tobago. We got Thomas TT from Belgium. There's people all over the planet in this thing, and we're trying to get everyone to connect and, trying to work together without having these issues. So hopefully we can get underway here, as I'm getting notification now that We're getting a lobby remake due to we had a couple disconnects during the race. So hopefully, again, another postponement. But to save our voices, I think Sattler and I are going to mute our mics for a little bit, and hopefully we can get back as racing will get underway, just to save our voices a little bit. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Sorry for the delay. Again, still having lobby issues with Gran Turismo Sport, but we are back and finally starting the race. So a bit of an update on what happened. Unfortunately, we will have to start without Charles TT due to some connection issues. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was Thomas and Hideki both starting at the back due to stuck. They're not going to get that resolved in time. So that's unfortunate for those drivers, but we can actually bring you some racing here today, and that's the positive we need to focus on.
That's if Thomas and Atwell can get away, though, that is. Touch wood that he will be.
Thomas is rolling, and Hideki's rolling, so everyone is underway.
Okay then, so we're down to 13, so, we'll be missing your Charles on the racetrack, but hopefully you'll be watching an exciting race, but obviously you'll be a bit disappointed because you wanted to be out on that track with those drivers too, but hopefully we won't let you down, Charles.
Hopefully.
So, we need to... Oh, go on, you go on. It's my turn to interrupt you this time. It's your turn.
I was just going to say, hopefully everything goes well. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who don't know the procedure here for the start, it is a manual rolling start. It is not a standing start as to what we used to use in the Championship Series. It is also not the in-game rolling start. It is a manual start, so you see all the drivers weaving, trying to keep heat in their tires, and everyone doing his outlap. So we have Kobu on pole, followed by Alex Rogers in second, Bugatti in third. Chile in fourth, Law in fifth, Dan's in sixth, PKMZ in seventh, Stig in eighth, Mini Conan in ninth, but he has a drive-through penalty to serve, Jake Dan Harry in 10th, Wise Guy, press the right button here, in 11th, Thomas in 12th, and then Hideki Sama in 13th. That's our grid for today.
The one thing we haven't covered yet is the pit stops. I think maybe a 2-stop strategy is the best option other than a 1. But looking at all the drivers, they're seemingly to start on medium tyres. I don't see anyone that are starting on the softs by my reckoning. As I'm going through all the drivers, it looks like everyone will be starting on medium tyres. They are. So... are we expecting a 1-stop strategy or a 2-stop strategy? Because I think according to Dan, if you do a 2-stop, you're only going to lose 8 seconds to a 1-stop. So what do you think would be the perfect strategy? 1-stop or 2-stop?
I mean, a lot of people are probably going to go for that 1-stop strategy. We saw how good the 1-stop strategy worked for Kobu at Laguna Seca and the GTR. And here, a lot of the tracks are straight, so the downhill and uphill can cause a bit of wear on the tires, especially at the off-camber corners. But so I think the 1-stop still is the strategy here. I don't think people will be starting on the medium tire to go to the soft first and then back to the medium. I think they're going to try and make these mediums last as long as they can and jump to the softs as we see the grid starting to form up here.
That's when they start weaving the tires and getting to double file formation just before the chase. So then, Japanese manufacturers starting on the front row, followed by a German manufacturer, then a French. And you got 2 French manufacturers, then a German. Here we go. Are they getting underway already? I think they are, aren't they? Yeah, they are.
Looks like it is. So it looks like Kobu is now underway. He might have started a little bit early, but a little bit of squirrely there, trying to keep some heat in his tires going into T1. Alex Rogers in second, Bugatti still in third. We see some mixing up going farther back in the field. Chile up into fourth, making his way by Dan's. It looked to be PKMZ battling for fifth with Dan's, or seventh, excuse me. As we see Stig trying to go around the outside of PKMZ, or the inside of the track. It'll be the outside for the next corner. Dan's moving a bit, trying to get some more heat in those tires as they head up the mountain. So we see Stig up into 7th, PKMZ falls back to 8th. We see Mini Conan's up into 9th now. Jake Dan Harry in 10th, and followed by him is Wise Guy. And then we have Hideki Sama and Thomas TT in 12th and 13th place as they go single file now up the mountain. And Kobu leads the way ahead of Alex Rogers and Bugatti.
You can already see a little gap developing between the top 3. Chile's almost a second back, and there's a whole train of cars behind Chile in that Pleb Racing Citroen. We've got Law in the mix with Dan's, Stig. I think Stig's gained a spot, isn't he? Yeah, good start from the Stig there, gaining a spot. But this is the tricky part of the track. There's really not a lot of overtaking opportunities with the cars out there. Just so lonely, you're kissing the wall and the exit of
real sideways. No, that was Law that just got real sideways there as he went over. I think it was Skyline. Let's see if I can get a replay.
Oh, should have made a little mistake through the S's. No harm, no. Oh, Law nearly made another mistake. Dan's all over the back of him. They're going to be side by side as you see a replay of Dan's having a moment. Now we're going in towards the dipper for the first time. Racing speed at least, and it is still Kobu, followed by Alex with Bugatti. Then you got a whole train of cars. She looks like he's freed himself from Law in 5th, but Dan's is looking hungry. The points lead all over the back of that Sandy Balls Citroen as they go on the Conrad Straight. They ride on board with Law.
Actually, at the front, I see Alex Rogers trying to back for the lead with Kobu. He's going on the outside on Kobu.
And he's done it.
So he's through, so now Kobu's back into second place, but this also favors Kobu. We know that GTR is quite fuel hungry, so if he gets the car in front, give him a slipstream on these long straightaways, lets him to short shift the car, and save a lot of fuel while doing so. As we see Bugatti also trying to find a way by her side by side with Kobu, gets a good run out of Murray Corner, we see the power of the GTR, but he's up in the inside. Can he go through? They keep it nice and clean. Kobu gives him room, and Bugatti up into second place.
Just noticing that Hideki slapping the wall on the exit of Muddy's corner there to start the end of the lap, but he hasn't lost a lot of time. Mini Conan has yet to make his drive-through just yet. As you said, he's got 3 laps to do it in, so that one is done. He hasn't came in, so he's got another 2 laps to do. But yeah, good start then all around for a few people. Alex made a superb pass, but it looks like the pack has caught up now, so yeah, Alex looks like he's wanting to build up a massive gap. He's already built up a 1.1 second gap with a Nugatti. So it looks like he's not wanting to save fuel, and now Chile has caught up to the back of Kobu. So we've got a train of cars again for second on back.
Yeah, Alex Rogers has that little bit of breathing room behind him, which is good to see. On board with Stig right now as he catches up to Dan's with a bit of a moment there. We can see Stig just had to lift off the throttle not to run into the back of him. And now they're heading back down the mountain, down to the S's after the exit of Skyline. And this is where you're going to probably see the Corvette start to suffer a little bit. It has a hard time turning in, especially since the BOP update that we saw before the round at Laguna. So you can see the gap just starting to form, trying to turn in that heavy front end of that Corvette. Struggling a bit, but he's going to gain that time back on this bunch straightaway, especially in that slipstream.
Let's see what the Swedish Superman can do as he goes on to the Conrad Straight. Look at the PK not really doing any effort though to try and close up on the back with that 4C. More than anything, I think Mini Conan is slowly catching up on PK. In that Jaguar, but like you said at the start, he's going to set the drive-through. So that's going to hamper his race then and then.
Ooh, Stig clipping the inside of the curb, going into the chase, really unsettled the car, but managed to hold it and didn't lose too much time to Dan's in front. As you see Mini Conan there, just pulling off the inside, going into the pit lane to serve his drive-through penalty. Right
then, so Mini Conan will be at the back of the field now, down to 13th and dead last. That one headed. Hideki move up into trail position, fastest lap. Alex Rogers 2 minute 2.648. They will go fast. They are on the medium tyres, so we could possibly see maybe 28, 29 laps around here is possibly key. If you want to go for a 2-stop strategy, I would recommend maybe pitting on lap 9, 10, 11, and then your second stop would be on lap 19 and 20, and then go for softs maybe go for a medium, soft medium, I don't know, but we're just interested to see what these drivers are doing. If they're all starting on the mediums, it possibly could be that they're all going to be on 1 stop perhaps.
I would expect the 1-stop strategy to be the favorite here. On board, Jake Harry. There's a bit of a front gap in front of him to peek and see a Stig. As we see him trying to go up the inside, is that Dan's who's going up through? I think Dan's made a mistake. Yes, Stig goes through. So let's see if I can actually get a replay of that. So it looked like Dan's made a mistake as he headed up the mountain. Let's see if we can get a replay, see if how Stig managed to find a way by Dan's here. Oh yeah, Dan's had a bit of a moment, touched the outside wall, and as we see Stig just slides on by. PK tries to go with him, but Dan's doesn't quite leave him room to do it.
Yeah, that's turn 5 where they made the mistake. So that's an uncharacteristic thing to do for Dan's. The points lead are not looking too good at the moment.
Seems to be struggling on the medium tires, especially in the mountain section. You can see just the gap that Stig now has over Dan's, and that's going to give Stig a nice bit of breathing room because I believe Dan's is just outside the slipstream range, or it's not going to be too effective. But Stig is also outside the slipstream range of Law in front of him. But looking back at the front of the field, it's Alex Rogers took the lead, but Nugatti's closed the gap, and Kobu's still there with them.
Yeah, Kobu's just probably going to play a smart game here. He'll be content to sit in that 3rd place, try and save at least some fuel on the guys ahead. I wonder if Alex has still gone to the strategy of just trying to save at least a bit more fuel, because he did pull out a pretty decent lead over the gap, and you can see the gap now has closed a bit. So I wonder if there's tactics for the Alex or the Gadios Kobu to be made here. We know what Chili's like; he can save fuel for days. So yeah, that's going to be interesting to see what will happen 50 minutes from now as you ride on board with Nugatti.
As they head up the mountain straight under the supercharged battery sign. See the slipstream. Alex Rogers puts his car in the middle of the track, forcing Bugatti to pick a side, not quite close enough to go into the inside as they go through Griffins.
Kobu set the fastest lap on that last lap, 2-minute 1.875. He's only just 8 tenths off the current lap record set by PK back in season 2 when he was driving the AMG Mercedes. But again, they're all on medium tyres. They will go to the softs later on in this race, so expect that lap time to that fastest lap to come down rapidly. I think Chile has dropped off a lot. It's down to it's up now to 1.7 between Kobu to Chile. So I wonder if Chile has made a mistake somewhere.
Yeah, it definitely seems to be increasing, or I was going to say increasing, but actually seems to be falling a little bit. So I think up the hill, the Citroen is quite favored here. But yeah, he's outside that slipstream zone, especially coming down the mountain here. I guess down the mountain perhaps doesn't favor the Citroen too much. Even though it's mid-engine, you think it'd still get that turn in. I think the rear end is just a little bit too loose to make sure you get on the power as much as the cars in front. They're all front-engine cars.
Looking at PK sitting in 8th place, the first time seeing PK in this championship, he is looking a little bit racy. He looks the more faster than between himself and Dan's, as we know PK is the king of the mountain here. So let's see, as you look at Jake Dan Hardy, new to the championship, well, obviously not new to the ARC championship, as there we go on board now with PK. And you can see that Mercedes has pulled away a bit from the 4C.
Ooh, bit of a touch there between Stig and Law going through the chase. So Law's slow. Now PK might take 2 spots from this. He tries to go on the outside of Law, not quite enough room, but now Dan's on the inside. Dan trying to find a way by Law. Breaks later on the brakes, and he's through. PK tries to go with them. Not quite close enough. So Stig up into 5th place. Yeah, I want to see if I could get a replay of what happened there into the chase. My keyboard will work for me here. A little bit too late on the replay there, but I did see a bit of a touch there from onboard PK's view as they went into the chase.
Yeah, I think Stig had his car legitimately side by side with Law, but I don't know if Stig got the car loose so that in the middle of the chase and went into Law, but either way, Law's lost a couple of spots as a result. As Stig gets a huge moment on the exit of the cut, hits the curb. You've got a 4-car train now for 6th place, leading it by Dan's. Then you've got Law, PK, and then you've got Wise Guys, who were supposed to start dead last in the field, started the race in 12 because of Thomas and Hideki's stops. He's up there in 9th place, having a solid effort in that only Scotty Power Puff Bell Chevrolet.
Yeah, not far behind him. Actually, Thomas has closed right up to the back of him, so now it's another 5-car battle for that 6th place here. Just on board Thomas now, he closes right up to the back of Wise Guy. We know how strong the GTR is here at Bathurst.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Thomas is probably the fastest out of the 5 drivers that are battling in that 6th place, but it's just unfortunate circumstances with the problem with the stock check that Thomas had, so he's trying to, ground away. He's definitely want to get by Wise Guys in a hurry as it's going on towards the Conrod Straight. So let's see what this GTR can do over the Chevrolet. I think them two are pretty close at top line speed, aren't they?
Pretty close, but I think the GTR just has the edge, especially in the slipstream. Let's see how much he closes up, if any, here. It looks actually fairly even, though. He's not quite in the optimal slipstream zone. Braking zone and now through the chase. It looked like Thomas gained quite a bit through the chase though, so perhaps the GTR a bit more stable on the turn in there than the Corvette.
Battle for the lead. Battle for the lead. Look at them. They're absolutely nose to tail. Alex versus the Gaddy. Absolutely nose to tail. The top 2. Kobu's there to pick up the pieces if there's any instance going on between Nuggy and Alex. The Gaddy wants to lead. He wants to lead this thing. He goes to the outside.
Alex puts his car defensive line, forces Ugatti to pick the outside. Ugati's going to try and go on the outside. They touch.
Oh no, he's gone off. He did go off. Yeah, there was contact. And that allows Kobu to go into 2nd place.
Replay of the contact, and Ugatti tries to go around the outside, but looked like Ugatti actually might have just turned in a bit too early into the side of Alex Rogers and lost out because of it.
Yeah, it did look like to me Nuggy turned a little bit too early on Alex. Nothing that, wasn't Alex's fault. But yeah, it's lost the spot for Nagati, so he's just got to gain that momentum back up again. Chile has caught up now, so it looks like Chile is caught up. But the stick can do stick. Oh, good battle going on then for sixth. Laws looking racy on Dan's. I don't think Dan's looking too confident on those mediums.
He doesn't. He's definitely in that mid-pack. He's not up towards the front like we've seen in many of the other races. He's having a hard time trying to break free of these guys behind him. As mentioned as many times before, everyone is on the same tire. It's not some guys are on the soft tire.
Wow, drifting around.
Peak animal too. The rear end just kicked out. Saw some sparks fly as he touched the exit wall. But now he's got a real good run on Law. But you know how good that Citroen is in a straight line, and it's also like the draft of Dan's in front, and just there's nothing PK can do.
Yeah, more than anything, that Citroen's actually quicker than the 4C, even if the 4C was in the slipstream. That just goes to show how good the Alfa Romeo is. PK's trying to brave himself out driving that car.
But fair play to him, he's currently in 8th place and definitely sticking with these guys who were up there with races. Like, they're definitely all top 5, if not some of the top guys in ARC, and he's doing an excellent job in that 4C to stick with him. Back at the front, no. Alex Rogers still leading ahead of Kobu after the incident going into this corner they're about to enter. Bugatti in 3rd, Chile in 4th, Stig in 5th. It looks like Dan's actually closed up quite quickly to the back of Stig here. We're within almost half a second now.
Yeah, just seen the last lap time there. Stig did a 2-minute 3.134 compared to Dan's 2-minute 2.669. So that last lap there, Dan's is half a second quicker than the Stig. So it looks like we're going to have ourselves a 6-car scrap for 5th place now.
Stig tried to find a way by and build that gap, but it's slowly.
Oh, Law just had a big moment through the cutting. I don't know if he got tapped from the rear by PK. I don't know if you want to get a replay on that. I definitely am. Lost the spot though. Let's see. Did he lose it? Oh, he may have just.
Yeah, he just turned in while braking. Turned in while braking instead of letting off. Tried to trail brake the corner and just the rear end slid out on him.
He dipped his right rear tire on that white line, and of course there's a different angle there, and that will upset the car, and that's what happened. So my apologies there to PK. I don't know if he made contact with him, but that was what it was there. Law making a mistake, and now look at Thomas. Thomas is all over the back of Wise Guys. He's got a
touch from Wise Guy to Law, and Law goes into the wall.
Out.
There was a touch between Wise Guy and Law that sent Law into the wall. So we can get a replay of that here. Boy, Wise Guy coming down here, and now into the forced elbow. You just see, just a touch, and then Law goes wide into the wall. And now Wise Guy and Thomas are side by side going into the chase. Thomas has the advantage, and Wise Guy back into 9th place.
And now Law's down to 12th place because of Nicky Sanders just gone around the outside, but he's made a mistake through the chase and comes out nearly in front of Law. Dear me. Oh, what a disappointment for Law. I mean, he's been especially good in qualifying. We haven't talked a lot about Law in qualifying. As you'll see here, may have just broken a little bit too late, and you see just gets on the grass and then just watch out. Oh, that's close.
Fortunate circumstances for Law. But back at the front, Alex Rogers still leads ahead of Kobu and Nugatti, so it's still a 3-car battle for the lead. Chile in a lonely 4th. That's going to hurt him not being able to fuel save as much.
Oh, what's happened to Stig? Stig's gone down to 7th place. Dan's and PK have passed the Stig.
It has happened. I'm not quite sure what happened. It looks like it probably happened a few corners ago. I don't know if it's going to be able to get a replay on it.
Yeah, I haven't really seen the replay on that. So our Swedish Superbad has gone down a couple of spots, and PK up to 6th. You know, that always hits the wall. Oh, that was a hard contact with the wall.
Just trying to see.
No damage though.
Yeah.
No damage. And look at Thomas there, starting 13th, already up to 8th place. He's only 10 seconds off Alex.
Take a little bit of a moment in that Corvette there, a little bit of a wobble where you can just compare the two cars and just how stable the GTR is in the hands of Thomas TT here. I think you should be able to catch Stig here on the exit if he just closes up a little bit. Now he loses a bit of time. At the front though, Alex Alex Rogers, Kobu, and Nugatti. Still your top three stationary. 40 minutes left to go in this race.
Just want to see who is the fastest of the three of them. It's Nugatti, 2:02.36, sorry, compared to 2:02.8 between Kobu and Alex. So Nugatti is quicker than the two drivers in ahead. 2:02.8 this time for Nugatti. Kobu did a 2:02.5, and Alex with 2:03.0. So it's just really time to Sticks making an early pit stop. Is he going for he's going for a two-stop?
We're just about to take a look through the fuel levels for each car. There you can see Alex Rogers' fuel over Kobu. In second place, a bit more fuel, but very similar in tire wear. There's Nugatti. Actually, let's make sure that was happening there, but no, he still holds stationary. But Kobu's all over the back of Alex Rogers. Look, there's Chile behind.
Battle for ninth place. Jake Dan Harding versus Thomas versus Lot. Sorry there, Rattle. But Thomas has come out of the pit lane as well as I think it was Jake. No, just holds on to that ninth place.
Thomas also, I believe, pitted for another set of tires. So two stop might be the strategy here. Two sets of mediums and one set of softs. You can see Law in 10th after his contact with Wise Guy in the 10th. Jake and Harry also made a pit stop. There's his level. There's Hideki Sama in 12th. And if I can find, oh, there he is. Mini Conan in 13th, who served his drive-through earlier, and that's why he's so far back. Back at the front, though, it looked like they was pretty close going up the hill, but a bit of a gap has opened up between Alex Rogers and Kobu.
Getting back to the pit stops there, Thomas came out on a new set of mediums as well as Jake Dan Hardy. Sticky has gone to the softs.
Top three is still fighting. It's a super close race at the front. Chile in a lonely fourth, but he's just trying to save as much fuel as he can. PKMZ in fifth, so he managed to find a way by Dan's. So great job for PKMZ in the fourth seat, getting up to the top five. Wise Guy, there he is in seventh. Stig in eighth, and Thomas TT, I believe you said he was on the softs, correct?
No, Stiggy's on the softs.
Okay, Stiggy's on the softs. So we're going to see him try and claw his way through the field. Run out the softs, will last all the way to the end. We will see. But going to the rest of the field again, there's Thomas TT in ninth. There's Law in 10th. Keyboard work here is Jake Dan Harry as the front leaders are actually making a pit stop. And you can see Kobu actually has more fuel than them, and then Chile is even more fuel than Kobu.
I mean, I wonder who's going to be switching to the softs. Are they going to stick with the mediums? We've got the top six over at the pits. Even Wise Guys came in.
No fuel for Alex. No fuel.
So Chile's gone to softs.
No fuel for the top three. But who has gone to what tire? The top three are all still in the mediums, but Chile is on the soft tires. And again, no fuel for any of those drivers. Why not Chile would be able to close the gap and make way by and be able to build a gap big enough for him to not be able to worry about his tires at the end of the race. We saw this happen at Monza. He pitted really early trying to go for the massive undercut, and in the end it came back to bite him. He might be trying to do the same thing here.
I think that'd be foolhardy if he would, but anyway, Sticky's got up to fifth place. I think PK has stayed out on, with a fresh set of mediums as well as Dan's. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Sticky and Chili can do now that they're on the softs compared to the other drivers that are still on the medium tyres. So it looks like, to me, I tell you what, are you looking at Nugatti? Because he is all over the back of Kobu.
I am now.
There we go. You can see him all getting a little sideways going into turn 18.
Back behind Kobu now at the Ice-T Racing Nissan GTR. Looking back to Nugatti. You just see the power of the GTR. Even in the slipstream, the AMG cannot keep up. Closes right up to the back of Alex Rogers. Even in the braking here. Alex Rogers doing an excellent job managing this race at the front. Chilean forward back to the battle for fifth. Stig is actually up into fifth. He worked his way by both PKMZ and Dan's, so he missed that. But now Stig is on a charge to try and catch the front runners. PKMZ and Dan's now in sixth and seventh. Thomas behind them in eighth. We have Wise Guy in ninth. There's Jake Dan Harry in the Law making a pit stop. So that was kind of everything. So Law finally makes his pit stop if I can get him here.
The Superman has just set the fastest lap, 2 minute 1.451, that last lap, and he is pulling away extensively over Dan's and PK.
So Law comes out, he makes a jump to the softs. So Law's going to try in a hard charge here, see if he can make up some positions and see what Hideki-sama does. He actually fuels up. So Hideki-sama possibly going for the one-stop here.
Oh, that's a brave call there on Hideki's part. He's going to have to do a lot of fuel saving at least, but I don't know. 35 minutes worth. Oh, he's got a 4-second penalty.
I think he
I wonder if he shot. Yeah, I'm guessing he shortcut the pit lane.
He came in, he just shortcut the pit lane. So he got a 4-second penalty. He's going to have to serve here. He's going to serve it here. Or try to.
Yep. He should do. He should have served it all. That was a penalty, man.
Ooh, he was through the rear end here. I'm not quite sure what has happened there.
What was that? How did he look?
I think he just clipped the grass. He clipped the grass and tried to correct it, and just the rear end bit a little bit.
No, I mean, he's away off the grass. Oh, there he goes. He hits it. That's I don't want to sound quite embarrassing there, but that's a rookie mistake to do that. I've never seen something like that.
I think he just might have gotten in his own head once he saw the penalty for how much it was for a small mistake like that. I think he just got into his own head. Back at the front, Alex Rogers still leads ahead of Kobu, Nagano. Front three are all still there, but Chile trying his best to close that gap. And the gap now 1.3 seconds. Chile, the only one of these front four on the soft tire.
Possibly had to stick too, because I think he's probably faster than Chile at the moment. Because he has set the fastest lap. But you got your top 5, the top 3 are mediums, and the other 2, Chile and Stiggy, on the softs. As Chile goes to the 2-minute 1.221, we are expecting the lap record to go down into the 2-minute range. So it's getting closer. Stiggy again goes faster. 2-minute 1.085. That's only 55,000 slower than Peaky's time. But look at the battle for third place. They're side by side.
The guy looking around the outside of Kobu as they go through this corner. They're not a good corner to do that. You guys tried that earlier. But it looks like he's gonna get it done.
And now Chile's caught up to the back of that Nissan GTR. Oh, did Nagano hit the wall? Just seeing if Nagano hit the wall at the cutting. They shouldn't be messing themselves up because it's going to allow Alex to pull away, and they have now. It's over 2 seconds, nearly 2 seconds over Nagano. There's Alex has.
Oh, here comes Chile trying to look up the inside here. Let's go on board with him as they try to head down the mountain now. Once again, Chile on the soft tires. Everyone else in front of them, these other 3 cars, are on the medium still. It looks to be a 2-stop race from both these guys, but Chile could be on a 1-stop.
Stiggy's catching in a hurry. He's already gained a second on Chile in this lap alone. You could just see it. You just look on the rear view there. You'll probably see Stiggy's Chevy coming up, but well, you can't see it there just yet. But it will be there soon. Yeah, but I think the gap is starting to slowly creep up now. I wonder if that pass there from the Nagano was I mean, it was a brave pass, but did it cost them a win? I'd find out anyway.
A bit of a look there. They had on the brakes, because of the soft tires, had a bit of a look. He's trying to get a run here on Kobu. Whether or not the Citroen's powerful enough to get alongside on these straights is going to be hard to see. I think his best bet's probably going to be trying to go up into Griffin's.
Yeah, it's a great run on the exit of Murray's, but couldn't go anywhere because there was a GTR right in front of him. I mean, this racetrack, there is a few places to overtake there. Murray's is one of them, Elkhorn is another one, Griffin's is another one. But then you've got like corners 3, 4, 5, all the way to turn 17. But it's just like all single file. Like if you're trying to make attempt to pass around maybe McPhillamine or Skyline, you will lose a lot of time. As you can see, I think it's that Kobe wanting to get that second place back. Not going to do it just yet, but here comes Chile.
Trying to capitalize off of Kobu trying to make his way by Nugatti, and that's why Kobu wants to way by Nugatti. He wants that 1-car buffer between him and Chile, because that means he knows his click and play is probably going to be more controlled, and this is exactly the opposite of Kobu wants, because you can see now he has to worry about Chile behind, and that means he's losing time to Nugatti in front.
Chile is all over the back of that GTR as it's going through Sermon and then into McPhillamine. This is just a one-lane groove here. You don't want to be overtaking someone around at this part of the track, and now you're going into Skyline, and then it's the S as you go. This is all a one-lane groove. You really can't afford to make an overtake around here because you will lose a hefty amount of time. Here's a good overtaking opportunity at the Dipper. It's turn 18.
Look at the run Chili gets out of it.
That was a superb run, but then you'll just see the power of the GTR up the Conrad Straight. You can just see him just slowly pulling away.
Absolutely walks that twin turbo V6. I believe it's a V6, I'm not mistaken. It might be an inline-6. It's a 3.6 liter twin turbo V6 in the front of that GTR, just making all kinds of horsepower, especially down that long Conrad Straight. But you can see Chili getting a run here, out of the chase, trying to go to the outside, perhaps maybe setting up a dummy, going up the inside, late braking into the last corner of Murray's, side by side. Does he get the run to get by? It's pretty close, he doesn't do it.
Again, that's the power of the GTR on the start for the straight there, but they shouldn't be battling too much for that long because it will allow Nugatti to pull away, and Sticky is there now less than 3 seconds.
Look at the front though, Alex Rogers having this clean air has opened up a gap of 2.2 seconds to Nugatti and Kobu. Chili being on the soft tires, just eating into this race that these three cars were having.
Just looking at the battle for 9th place, Jake Dan Hardy versus Wise Guys versus Law. That's 3 different manufacturers there. I'm looking at Nissan versus Chevy versus Citroen. So looking back at Thomas, there you are. There's Jake leading the pack. Jake on the mediums. Then Wise Guys also on the mediums, and Law is on the softs. Looking all over the back of Wise Guys.
I thought he was maybe going to try and have Will going up the mountain, but it's hard to make that work going up here. It's so narrow, and there's grass on both sides, and wall in past no grass. It's not easy to make a move up here. But Wise Guy into the wall. This could be an opportunity for Law, not quite able to go for it.
Oh, you're not going to make a pass through Skyline, no. That's brave of you to do it, like. He's got to get by Wise Guys in a hurry. If he's on the soft tires, he's going to get held up by Wise Guys a lot here. She's right on board now with Law.
Right now on the Conrad straight through Forest Elbow. Let's see what car is better on a straight line here. Will it be Wise Guy? Will it be Law? And it looks to be favoring Wise Guy. Law, even with his soft tires, is struggling to try and find a way by the Corvette of Wise Guy, especially when he's got the slipstream of the GTR in front.
Just looking at the gap here for the lead, it's slowly coming down now. Less than 2 seconds now between Alex to Nugatti, but still Kobu. I mean, Nugatti's still bringing Kobu and Chili. I'm just seeing what the gap is to stick. It's up to 3.2, so. Sort of stabilizing a little bit between Chili and Stiggy.
Have a look at Chili's tires. He's on for several laps on them. I want to have a look in comparison to the new medium tires the cars in front have. So his tires do have more wear, but that's to be expected because there's a soft tire. Well, he was able to gain time as Kobu tries to find a way by Nugatti. Nugatti made a mistake going through the cutting. So now once again it's a 3-car battle for second place. But Kobu not able to capitalize, and here comes Chili trying to find a way by going up the hill, but it just will not work. Ooh, here we go, Kobu Sky going side by side, not quite.
No, I think that Kobu may have didn't hit the apex perfectly in McPhillamy and hit the nasty bump, and the car understeered through McPhillamy.
What I was trying to say before we saw the mistake from Nugatti there is that even though Chili was able to gain all this time on the softs, he hasn't been able to gain any positions. So in reality, he hasn't really gained enough time for the softs to make it work for him. He's definitely faster than the cars in front, but he can't get by them. He's wasting his soft tire stint right now.
Yeah, I mean, this could be a mistake on Chili's part because if you think about it, he'll go and make his second stop. He has to go into the mediums while the top 3 will be going to the soft tires. And you know, this could prove pivotal for Chili's chances if he wants to finish on the full podium or at least get a win because they're not that far ahead of Alex, who's still leading. Again, Kobu going defensive through Mullies.
I have to give fair play to Kobu here. He's using the strength of the GTR to his advantage, and it's working out great. You can just see the power and the torque of that GTR. Chili tries to go for it, but he's not quite close enough. There's not enough of an overlap, but here we go. Kobu holds on, and just the power power and torque of that GTR allows him to hold on to position. Great job from Kobu to hold on to that third for as long as he has.
You could just see Chile just really desperate to get by, with those soft tires that he's running, as you said earlier. But he just cannot find a way by that GTR. It's just too quick on the straight.
You see Stig just in the background. He's still closing up the gap. Now 2.5 seconds between Stig and Chile. So he is closing more. Chile and Kobu fight. The faster Stig does close. So that's something to keep an eye on. But once again, both Stig and Chile are on their soft tire stints, while Alex, Nugatti, and Kobu are not.
Just noticing that Law has passed Wise Guy, so Law is now up into 10th place. Thomas is catching a lot of time on Dan's. I've seen on his last few laps here, Dan's is really been struggling in this. He's just doing consistent 2-minute 2s, but it's like mid to late 2-minute 2s, whereas Thomas is doing early 2-minute 2s to even a 2-minute 1. So Thomas is looking really good around here. It's just a shame that he had that disconnection. But he's starting to close up on the back of the championship points leader.
Another thing to note is even though PKMZ and Dan's quite a ways back behind Chile and Stiggy right now, it's definitely an important thing to keep in mind as we see Chile and Kobu side by side going through the chase. Kobu side, he's on the inside. Can Kobu hold on? Or even going into the braking zone, Chile trying around the outside. He's got the soft tires to get it, and Chile's through the third.
Now what Chile's got to do, Sadecki's just left the room, unfortunately, so we're down to Trove on this now. Now what Chile's got to do is just, use the anger and chandle it and try and catch up to the back of Nugatti. It's 2.2 now.
Trying to get a replay of the pass there, but I quite missed this replay marker, so excuse me there. As we see Dan's. Yep, Dan's makes a pit stop, so he's coming in early, so this is his second stop.
Yep, so he will go onto the soft tyres now and probably go the rest of the way. He may fuel his car all the way to the top, or at least maybe in the 90s. Quite an early second pit stop, though, I have to say. It's gone up to 60 as Wise Guy's got a penalty.
Yeah, Wise Guy pulls off the side, serves it as he should. There you go. So Dan's will get an easy position from that, even though he's on the soft tire. So there's an easy 10th place for Dan's. I was going to say maybe he tied that stuff just a little bit wrong because he's got these slower cars in front of him here. Long's going to be on Ward softs. Jake Dan Harry's on the mediums, and he's in their GTR. It's not going to be easy to pass him, so he might have mistimed this just a little bit and might have some traffic in front of him.
Yeah, I think the most important thing if you're coming out of the pit lane is to have some clean air, but as you said there, he's going to come out in front of Jake and Law, who are battling for their own right for the 8th place. So, if I was Dan's, I'd get past him in a hurry, but 60% of fuel in with 22 minutes. He must be saving fuel, surely, if he's doing that. And I would have thought I'd expect a bit larger fuel in Dan's fuel tank there. But, I don't know, 22 minutes with 60% of fuel in. It's going to be the big top empty.
I think the one to watch here might actually be PKMZ, because I think he's actually closing up on the back of Stig here. I think Stig's used all of his soft tires, and now he's losing time. So PKMZ, who still has his set of softs to go, we could see PK possibly getting that 4th place come the end of this race. He's going to be one to watch. As Bugatti's close right up to the back of Alex Rogers now. So now it's a battle for the lead between these two as they go through Murray's.
Oh, if Alex has made a mistake, so I'm just going to see what this lap time was as the Nugatti runs right through Murray's. Let's see what that lap time was. It was a 2-minute 2.171. Nugatti did a 2-minute 1.3 as Sticky comes into the pit lane to make his second and final stop, as well as BK, as well as Thomas.
Stig has to go to the medium tires now. Some fuel goes in. We expect PK and Thomas to be jumping to the soft tires. Whether or not they'll jump Stig in the pits, we will have to see. Going in that Corvette, and he's underway. He gets out of the pit lane. Will he come out in front of PK? It looks like he does, but he moves out.
There's Law.
So Law goes by, but he comes out in front of Dan's, and that's pretty crucial because Stig was in front of Dan's before, but Dan's is on the soft tire.
He's got to get by Law quickly. He has to do it through Griffins. He's just trying to do.
Side by side, not quite close enough to get it done though. He might try for the cutting.
Watch for Dan's. He might be on the inside, maybe. No.
He loses it.
Gets in the back. He's lost it. Hold on to that. What a save. What a save from Stig.
Great work from Stig to hold on to the rear end of that car. Those cold medium tires not doing him any favors going through the cutting, but Dan's is through on his soft tires. So once again, he sets his sights on Law, but now Stig has to be careful of PKMZ behind him, who's going to be on. Now we're having to just make sure, yes, he's on a new set of soft tires. Back at the front, though, Alex Rogers still defends over Nugatti, but it's looking pretty close here as they go over the crest of the hill. Nugatti's got the slipstream, but we look to the inside. No, he sits and waits in the slipstream. He's going to be saving fuel here and trying to jump him in the pits.
They're gonna be both making a pit stop this time by, so this could be pivotal for the race win. I think they've pretty much got exactly the same fuel as each other. I think you'll see as they'll both come in this time by. They are. I think they may have the same fuel. So this is going to be
Chili
big.
as well. Chili comes in as well, but he saved more fuel, so he might actually jump them in the pit with Chili. Whether or not he'll be able to hold on to it, that's going to be the question.
So here we go. This is it. What about Kobe? I know Kobe was a bit far back, but he's got to put in less fuel than Alex and Nugatti. Oh my God! Three toes to tail.
So Alex Rogers comes out in front, which will have the better slipstream. It might be a three-race battle for the lead. Where did Kobu come out? He came out a little bit far behind. I think he put a little bit more fuel into these guys. So these guys probably have to fuel save a little bit come the end of the race. We see Nugatti trying to find a way by. Alex Rogers holding the inside. Have to be careful not to run into the back of each other. But the more they fight, here comes Kobu. Perhaps in behind a little bit. Nope. Nugatti side by side with Chili, who's now on the medium tire. Will he be able to fight this? They're going through the cutting. This is a brave move.
That is super brave from Nugatti if he can pull it off, but no, Chili holds on to that second place. Now this is critical for Nugatti because he's on the soft tires. He's got to get by Chili in a hurry.
Kobu now is 2.5 seconds behind them. But I believe he put a little bit more fuel in, so he might not actually have the fuel save this stint. Well, these other three cars that we're seeing on screen now might actually have the fuel save towards the stint. So this could end up favoring Kobu here, as there's only 18 minutes and 40 seconds left in the race.
You can just see the gap moving up slower by slower now. Nearly 1.3 seconds Alex have over Chili. So Nugatti, he has to find a way by as soon as possible. And that wasn't the place to do it. Not just yet anyways. Kobu already 2.5 seconds back. But Chili's got to get by, Nugatti's got to get by Chili as soon as he can.
Nugati's got the slipstream. And trying to go find a way by Chili into the chase. Which side will Chili pick when Nugati's trying to find a way by, uses better tires? Maybe he sets up a dummy, not quite. Nugatti still holds stationary.
I wonder if he's trying to set up a pass at Muddy's corner or Hell corner on the next lap. We'll just see here in a second. He's got to hold station, I think. He's just got to try and get a good run off the exit of Muddy's. Try and make a pass, which he looks like he's sort of done. He's going to try and make a pass at Hell corner here.
There's a blue flag here. Not quite sure what for.
No, he's not. He's going to try and do it at Griffin's, isn't he? He's got to try and do it at Griffin's.
Got a good run here. Does he get the snuff slipstream though? Chili. That Citroen's pretty wide. He's got the run though. They're side by side going up the mountain straight. He's on the outside once again. He likes going to the outside, but can he get the job done? That is the question. A little bit touch on the straightaway. He's trying to be ahead of the braking. It's going to be Chili. He still has advantage.
This is not good for Nugatti. Now we're coming onto the part of the track where it's really impossible to pass there. That was an opportunity for Nugatti to try and get by Chili. But then the more time he's going to be stuck behind Chili, the more time that Alex is going to pull away from them. And the more time as well that Kobe's catching up. He's now 1.5 seconds back away from this battle for second place.
We're going to have a quick look through the rest of the field here as we still see Dan's at fifth, Stig at sixth. Peekins, he's looking all over the back of Stig here as they go through the upper part of McPhillamy Park. Now through Skyline, and PK is looking real racy behind him. PK has to get by Stig as soon as he can. He's on the different tires. He's going to try and do it, chuck it in down through here. Not quite.
Thomas is catching. He's catching PK and Stig. He's getting sideways through turns 14 and 15 and 16.
Back at the front, Nugatti did manage to get by Chili. We missed it. Let's see if we can actually get a replay here. So Nugatti is into second. So what happened here? He actually managed to do it coming down the mountain. Wasn't quite able to see it.
Okay. But Chili's going on to the inside. He's having a look.
But
Oh, and the guy's in the glass!
And here comes Kobu. Kobu has to pick where he wants to go. Let's see if we can get a replay from Kobu's point of view on what happened here. Because Kobu will have a pretty good look at it.
I don't know if Nugatti pushed Chili off the track. I don't know if he lost it or what, but let's have a look at the replay
Chili
here.
Came from quite a ways back. I think there was a bit of a touch. Chili goes wide, tries to carry more speed. Here comes Kobu. I think Nugatti they just didn't leave too much space for Chili, but Nugatti had that room. And Kobu's back in the third, and now Chili on his medium tires is left out to dry in fourth.
And now the gap between Alex and Nugatti is nearly 5 seconds as Kobu's going to go around the outside of Griffin's. Kobu's going to do what Nugatti's been doing pretty much the whole entire race.
Able to find by. You just saw Dan's there in the background, so Dan's not far behind. There's PK and Zeke, so PK managed to find a way by Stig, so PK up into 6th. There's Tomo behind him as well. Let's see if Tomo can find a way by Stig here, as Stig seems to be struggling on those medium tires, especially going up the mountain here, finding traction in the rear of that Corvette.
Yeah, he's just going to be pretty much a sitting duck as to go down the Conrod Straight with that GTR, how quick that is, especially Delvin Thomas on the soft tires. Tell you what, this is a good recovery, this, from Thomas. Started at the back of the field because of the glitch that he had to stop checking that. But, as you can see, I've just noticed, Alex, we're into the 2 minutes now, 2:09.947, new lap record now. But, go back to Thomas. He might just get the job done at the Stig going on the Conrod. Just see if he gets a good run off the exit of the dipper. And then you can just see how close. Look at the closing speed of that. He's probably going at least 7 miles an hour quicker than Stig.
Close. I do want to point back at the second place here as Kobu and Nugatti are side by side. I just noticed the flickering back on the leaderboard there. Nugatti still holds on to second, but Kobu's been looking pretty racy. He's on the inside. He's going to compromise his exit. Will Kobu try to go for the over/under here? He can't quite get on the throttle, and Nugatti holding on to second.
The gap now up to 6 seconds now, so yeah, with this constant battling. Tell you what, Chili is sort of closing a little bit. 2 minutes 2 seconds he has behind Kobu. I tell you what, PK is a man on a mission. He is closing it down so much. He is setting really fast lap times as PK than over Dan, so I'd keep an eye out here on PK for a top 5 finish, definitely.
One thing we have missed here is Alex Rogers has officially beaten the race lap record for ARC here. As there's a yellow here, what has happened in front? It's Kobu! Kobu was spun!
It's Kobu! Kobu's gone off! See what he did?
Side by side with Nugatti going through here. He goes wide and he just spins it again. It's a repeat of what we saw in season 2.
I'm just seeing, was there contact going in? I must have missed it. I don't know if there was any contact between the pair of them because it was quite a not a good camera angle that he had, but that's the disappointment there for Kobu. What could have equaled his best ever finish of a second back in the Rotopolis has now gone up in smoke.
There was a bit of a touch between them, but I don't think it would have caused the spin to Kobu. It's a repeat of season 2 in the exact same spot. Once again, a spin from a promising position. Falls back to 8th.
Don't film under the bus, though.
Falls back to 8th place behind Stig. We know how strong he is here, but there's only 12 minutes left in the race. There's going to be recovery from him, but Alex Rogers, 6.8 seconds to Nugatti. That's the lead. Will Nugatti be able to cut it down with the 11 minutes that we have left?
PK's just past Dan. PK's up to 4th place. I think that was just before the chase. He must have got a great run. Oh yeah, he closed up a hell of a lot on Dan, so just passed him in the middle of the chase.
Keep an eye on the gap between PK and Chili here, whether or not PK's tires will last long enough for him to be able to close up to the back of that Citroen. 3 seconds is the gap. 11.5 minutes remain.
Last lap speed there between PK to Chili. Chili did a 2 minute 2.938. PK 2 minute 1.697. He is catching Chili in a hurry.
Just saw Kobu getting by Stig there across through Hell Quarter. Now setting his sights on his Ice-T Racing teammate Thomas Tippy, in front of him. All right, for the rest of the field. Law
go on.
in 10th, Minnie Conan in 11th, who's just ahead of Jake Dan Harry there, and the one retirement of Hideki Sung, the one non-starter of Charles TT. The gap between Alex Rogers and Bugatti at the front, though, 6.3 seconds, 10.5 minutes remaining.
Yeah, I'd keep an eye out here on PK. He seems to be the guy that's really on a mission here. The king of the mountain here is driving an absolute superb race here. From a guy who started in 7th place, or 8th place, I think. I can't mind exactly. And he's fighting here for a podium position. He's already gained half a second on Chile down on this set of corners alone.
Yeah, it's almost 2 seconds now just going down the mountain. He's going to lose out on this straight. He's not quite close enough to get the slipstream to the back of Chile. But, I mean, those soft tires, especially over the top of the mountain, 4C is working up there. He might be on for a podium here if he can actually catch up to the back of Chile. He's got 10 minutes to do it, and it's possible.
Yeah, it's very doable. Very, very doable.
Chase, he gained a little bit of time there through the chase. Probably going to gain more here through the first sector.
Let's check up on the lap times now. So Chile's last lap was a 2 minute 2.568. Bugati's last lap 2 minute 1.484. He is gaining a second a lap over Chile, and I know that's obviously because of the fact that Chile's on the medium tyres compared to PK's on the softs. But, you know, PK he's firing on all cylinders around here. That's why we call him the king of the mountain here, because he's just so goddamn good around here.
Let's not forget, he was the man that ended Lemmy's winning streak, and specifically at this track back in Season 2. He's been here dominant. He won the last endurance race we had here at night. This is his preferred track. This is basically his home track if he was Australian, basically.
We've done two endurance races. The 90-minute one, which I commentated on, he dominated that race, and the one that we commentated on, the 3-hour race, which he dominated on that. You know, he's just a man possessed around here, and again, closing so much around Chile, around this section of the track.
Especially down the downhill, Chile is on those medium tires, and that Citroen is just he can't grip, and just like 2 corners alone, he's already 1.1 seconds off of him. He cut 7 tenths.
He is purple in the second sector. I've just noticed that Kobu set the fastest lap 2 minute .943, so he's obviously raging right now. He's all over the back of Thomas. I wonder if there's team orders in ICT Racing to let Thomas to let Kobu by. Obviously in different championships, of course, but you want to keep on track with PK because he might break the lap record here in a relatively not so quick car down the straightaway.
He does have the slipstream of Chile in front of him, so that's going to help him. And he was able to close up to the back of Chile. Chile definitely struggled, and that's because he's going too wide through the chase there, trying to carry as much speed as he can. He's now within 1 second of Chile. PKMZ could score a podium position in his first race of Season 4.
He was supposed to race at Monza too, but he was doing other duties. He was racing at another series that he was in. And I think he did rather well. I don't know where he finished exactly. Anyways, last lap around Chile, 2 minute 2.2, and as you saw there, PK 2 minute 1.355. He's getting faster and faster every lap.
He's gaining definitely now on the straights. That 4C in the slipstream of the Citroen is faster. Remember, Chile might have underfueled his car to compete with the guys up front, so he might actually be fuel saving here.
Just sort of slightly missed the apex at Griffin's, but didn't lose too much time over him. As you'll see going up towards the mountain, you'll see how unbelievably quick PK is compared to Chile. As we go up the mountain, we go yet again for the 26th time.
Just see the time he's gaining with those soft tires. That 4C, it's so nimble. Yeah, I see that Kobu now through to 6th place ahead of his teammate. So still some good points on the tap for Kobu, trying to do everything he can to try and make up for it. He may actually end up catching Dan's if he keep the pace up and back to PKMZ, who's now almost within half a second just coming down the mountain here.
Oh, wow, it's PK. I just saw PK's hands going sideways through turns 15 and 16.
It's just how stable that 4C is coming down the mountain. A little bit of a touch on the wall, so that's going to compromise his exit speed a bit here. But he's in the slipstream of that Citroen, and now Chili knows he's under threat of losing that third place.
Well, I think Chili knows. Chili, don't get me wrong, Chili's desperately trying to hold on to this podium position, but there's just nothing you can do over there against the guy that's the king of the mountain around here.
5.5 minutes remaining, roughly. As now PKMZ is within half a second. He's closing and closing and closing. Will his soft tires hold on? Will he be able to get the run on one of these long straights?
There we go then. Let's check again on this lap around. 2-minute 2:6.11 compared to PK's 2-minute 1.9. So not as much as what he has closed within the last 4 laps, but he is definitely there. And Kobu is within touching distance now of Dan, just now less than half a second.
So Kobu's on definitely a charge here. You might actually get the pass here. Going into Griffin's, he's got the straight line speed. You can see the difference in the GTR compared to the AMG. I think Dan's might be fuel saving a bit. Kobu's through to 5th.
Did you see Kobu's first sector time? He was at purple by nearly 6/10 in the purple.
Well, if Dan's isn't careful, Tom might also find a way by and take that 6th place from him. Dan's struggling here, but back at the front, PKMZ is all over the back at Chili for that final spot on the podium. 4.5 minutes remaining.
I'll tell you what, PK's got to find a way by Chili as soon as possible. Look at the cars getting unstable, a bit of sparks flying from the back of Chili's Citroen. But I tell you what, Kobu was really catching these two ahead. As Thomas has gone by Dan, see, so Thomas is up to 6th, Dan's down to 7th place.
Just see how stable that 4C is in the downhill section. We like to point and laugh at the 4C because it's such an outlier, but the PK is making it work here. And you can see Kobu just behind, 2.8 seconds the gap between them. Here comes PKMZ trying to go around the outside, going into the chase. Can he do it on the soft tires? Will he go wide? He runs wide. He loses position. He can't hold it.
Can't hold it just yet, but that's a warning sign to Chili just to hold on to your bottom place on the podium. But now look at Kobu, he's closing, nearly 1.5 seconds behind PK.
Remember, Kobu fueled a little bit more in his pit stop, so Chili might have to do a bit of fuel saving, as may PK. Kobu shouldn't have to worry about that. He should be able to push flat out to the end of this race, which suits that GTR. 1 or 2 more laps here from this point on to finish this race. Can PK get by, or will Kobu close up enough and take it from them? This is a close race for the final spot on the podium.
And don't forget Thomas is also there too in the mix as well as Dan's, but this has been a normal, this has been not an average day here for Dan's here. I think this is just like damage limitations here for the championship leader. This will definitely be a drop score for Dan's here. Must be.
These tires are starting to wear just enough. He's having a hard time clipping these curbs and maintaining the back of Chili. He's starting to feel, he's starting to struggle a little bit. Those soft tires are starting to fall off.
And Kobu was catching out less than a second now on the back, or closer to the back of that 4C. I tell you what, Kobu from a spin could end up being taking the bottom step. That would be some heroic recovery, this from Kobu. And he's there. Kobu is there.
We know how good that GTR is on the straight. We could see 3 wide going into the chase here. He's got the slip of Chili in front. And here comes Kobu. He's got the slip of that 4C and Chili in front of him. Just look how much that 4C is closing to the back of that Citroen. Over the pink, Chili goes defensive. PK once again tries around the outside. There's no room for him to go, but now Kobu is all over the back of both of them.
Oh, look at that! Look at that! The photographer, they're getting a good action there, a good picture. The crowd are going absolutely wild here for this battle, for the bottom place on this podium. Half a second separate 3rd to 5th, and then you got Thomas as well, 1.7 back.
This is it. This will be the final lap. Only 1 minute 10 remaining. Who will take the final spot of the podium? Chili defends, puts his car on the inside. Here comes PKMZ, puts his car on the outside. Here comes Kobu. There's no way for him to go.
Hell of a run! He's got a double toe here.
Can't find a way by. It's only too wide. Chili a bit clips inside the curve. Bit of a rear end down. But PKMZ's going to try and stick it up the inside going into the cutting. Is he going to try and make that work? He's got the better tire. No, he hits on the brakes earlier. But Chili goes wide.
Chili goes sideways.
PKMZ's through the third after a mistake from Chili. But now can Kobu capitalize? He's still all over the back of both of them. He might be able to catch both.
Thomas is now caught up into the back. He's only four tenths away from his teammate. 25 seconds to go. With this battle going on for third place, it's insane. And you got four cars in the mix.
Final spot of the podium. This will be the last lap. The final time coming down the mountain. PKMZ third, Chili fourth, Kobu fifth, Thomas TT in sixth. Ooh, Kobu's got the run, but he runs to the back of Chili. He can't find a way by. There's a bit of a punt. The stewards aren't gonna like that one. It's the final lap. Officially, here comes Tomo. Tomo takes that fifth place away from Chili. A bit of a mistake there from Kobu. I think he could have been able to put the nose in without making the contact. But Alex Rogers, a dominant race at the front. He will hold on and take his very first win here. Alex Rogers in the Supra winning here at Mount Panorama. Nugatti will come home second. Back to the battle for third. Who will it be? It's still these four cars.
Oh, Kobu sideways! Ooh, hold on. I think that's the challenge for third place gone now. Now he's got to be defensive over his teammate. And here comes Thomas. He's going to the inside of Buddies. No, he's not.
Hold on, Kobu will take fourth, but I'm sure that move will be under investigation. I'm sure Chili's probably not going to be too happy about it. You coming from the line, sixth place, Thomas in fifth, Dans will come home seventh. But congratulations to Alex Rogers on the win. But seriously, Steve coming across the line ahead of the other Corvette driver of Wise Guy. There comes Law in 10th after his mishap that we saw. I believe it was going up or down the mountain, excuse me. Jake and Harry in 11th. Then we have Mini Conan coming home in 12th place after serving his drive-through. With the one retirement of Hideki Sama and the one did not start of Charles TT, but Mini Conan, ooh, almost loses the rear end of it there.
That was a good save there for Mini Conan. I tell you what, it's a good effort though, even though he's technically, drove for the race. But either way, it was a good point save for his team at least, anyways, for Mission Wano. And he was the only Jag in TNA, so good job anyways to Mini Conan.
Great job from all these guys, and congratulations to Alex Rogers on being able to take home the win here at Mount Panorama. Congratulations to him. And so far, of the 3 races we've held, we've had 3 different winners, and be sure to show up next Sunday when we actually have that redo of the Laguna Seca race where there could be another 4th winner. Well, let's draw up the race results here so we have everything here. There you have your winner, Alex Rogers. Total time of 1 hour 25 seconds and 0.2. We have Nugatti in second, PKMZ in third, Kobu in fourth, Thomas TT fifth, Chili sixth, Dans in seventh, Stig eighth, Wise Guy ninth, Law 10th, Jake Dan Harry 11th, Mini Conan 13th or 12th. 13th would be Hideki Sama, and then I did not start from Charles TT.
Well, that was a pretty exciting race there for the bottom step for third place, and that was really good there. But anyway, well done to Alex Rogers. He's now again there was a tie between Alex and Dan's for most podium with 13, and now Alex has now got up to 14. So yeah, good stuff there from Alex, and I think that's the first ever Super win in the ARC.
I think it would be too, but ladies and gentlemen, as you see on the screen, there's more to come here as we're going to try and get some driver interviews from these guys that you just saw out there racing. So don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back momentarily with the driver interviews. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are now back for our driver interviews of the Tier A race that we just saw. So let's jump into our interviews here. Let's start off with, I believe, the man most people probably going to want to hear from. And let's jump on. Let's start with Kobu. Kobu, are you here?
Hello, hello.
Hello, Kobu. First things first, I do want to say congratulations on your very first pole position here in Tier A.
Thank you. It was all thanks to Nugatti, really. He came out of the pits in front of me, and I just caught the draft. And those two straights where I was at, just behind him, just kind of makes up any mistakes you make on the mountain.
Now, it unfortunately wasn't all sunshine and rainbows today. There was that one mistake going through Griffin's there when you were side by side with Nugatti. Do you want to give us your side of things, what it felt to you, and how everything ended up?
Yeah, I was figuring that I had a good enough run that I could probably overtake on the outside during that turn. And I guess I just took a little too narrow of a line, or Nugatti just didn't have enough space. I'm not totally sure what happened. I'll have to look back at it. But yeah, once I got pushed a little bit wide, my rear left just caught the decline. And yeah, it was when I caught that decline, I spun. So after that, I was just like, I need to sort of clear my mind and try and get a best result as I can.
Well, again, there was another bit of an incident there on the last lap. I do have to ask about it. Between you and Chili going into the Dipper, there was a bit of a front to rear contact between you. What's your side of things there?
Yeah, I was just trying to keep the space between Chili as close as possible. I knew he was on the medium, so he probably didn't have as much braking power as he could have. Um, yeah, I was just because I was catching up to them so quickly. I really just wanted to get past Chili and possibly take over and take the podium from PK. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case, and so it's probably moot at this point. I would like to apologize to Chili for that because that was was a rude move for sure.
Well, unfortunate circumstances harping a bit of the result at the end there, especially after you had such a strong pace. But as a bit of a light ending note for the interview, you did actually end up winning the Lobby B race for Laguna Seca. So it's kind of a positive and a negative there that you do actually get the next week off. You can actually sit back, relax, and enjoy the Tier A race that we will be hosting the next Sunday.
Yeah, I kind of wish I was in there, but you know, it is what it is. I'm glad with the win. I was hoping to take a win in Tier A or Lobby A as well. That would have been awesome. A Lobby B and a Lobby A win back to back. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the next race. Even though it's brands, we're just going to do some damage limitation, and hopefully we can take the championship for manufacturers.
All right, well, congratulations out there, and hopefully we get to see you still up there in Lobby A for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
All right, let's jump on to what, in my opinion, the man of the hour, the man who drove the car to a place where it didn't deserve to be. Man, we don't get to hear too much of in the driver interviews. Let's go over to PKMZ. PK, you here?
I am.
PK, I got the first thing I gotta say is what a performance out there, driving the 4C to a third place spot. What a race!
Yeah, I don't know how I got there, to be honest. It was just 100%, probably 110% driving for that whole hour. Pretty much I had to get past everyone as fast as I could, or else I'd be caught by, GTRs or, well, any other car that could be faster than 4C on the straight. So I'm really happy with that result.
Another thing I do want to ask, kind of on the same topic, is you've been on very vocal about your favorite car being the Mercedes AMG. And it's going back to that very first season we had here for our GR3 championship. You were in the 4C in that season, and you've said you've been on record saying that that 4C not the best car. You didn't like it that much. So why choose it again here for season 4?
Why not? I mean, it's all grand and all this picking a car that everyone uses, like a meta car. I mean, the Mercedes is great. It's the best all rounder out there, I'd say. But to pick something else, it's just spices the race up slightly if you're there.
Well, I do want to say once again, congratulations on your third place podium, especially in my opinion, would be an underperforming car on this particular circuit. Do you plan on perhaps participating in any other races throughout the season? Can we expect to see you again on track?
Um, I was thinking Brands Hatch, but apart from that, nothing else. I'd say I'd only pick tracks that I'd either like or the force might stand a chance.
Well, thank you for the interview and congratulations on your podium finish for today and with an excellent drive.
Cheers, lad.
All right, let's move on to our race winner here today, Alex Rogers. Alex, are you here?
Yo, yo.
Hello, Alex Rogers. Congratulations on your win out there today.
Thank you, Laryl. Thank you. Yeah, that was hard, man. Really hard. It's hard to beat Nogati, man. I just said in the chat, it's like a secret boss you don't know after you've beaten the last boss on a game, Just waiting for you, and you've got to take him on. But yeah, it's bloody hard to beat. But yeah, I'm sweating my ass off right now, so yeah. Happy, but very tired.
Tell us what was going through your head when you made that second pit stop and you saw Chile going to the soft tires.
I was like, what's this guy doing? I had no idea. I came out of the pits thinking, oh man, okay, me and Nuggy are on the same amount of fuel, I just have to put in the amount I need. Hopefully I'm ahead of Nuggy. And then all of a sudden we come out, me and Nuggy had 0.2 of each other. And I must have drove up about, I don't know, 50 meters and look behind again, and Chile's in between us. And I'm like, what is going on here? But yeah, luckily it kind of sorted itself out. And to be honest with you, I'm kind of grateful Chile was there because I think that's probably what handed me the win, to be honest with you, because he then held up Nuggy and then I was just able to kind of build a gap from there. And I think Kobu caught back up to that battle. I don't really know what happened behind, but I'm guessing Kobu caught back up, and that's kind of when I started to build like a 5-6 second lead over everybody. And yeah, I was kind of grateful for it, really. Thinking back at the time, it was crazy, but thinking back, it was a good thing.
Well, that win currently makes you the third different race winner so far in Season 4. And coming up this next Sunday, we do have the redo of the Laguna Seca race, where I believe you're starting towards the front grid of that race. Do you perhaps see yourself having as good a result as you had today, or do you feel like that race might be a little bit more difficult for you?
Yeah, I'm starting second next week, but I think that's going to be a little bit more difficult. I think the Mercedes is a bit better around there than Supra, so I don't think I'll win it. I think I might be able to pull out a good result because I'm not sure how other cars are, but yeah, I'm not on the Mercedes pace, to be honest, with the Supra around there. So we'll see. So I'm glad to get the win here anyway, because it means next week I can kind of relax. I've got a nice little win in the bag, so yeah, I'm happy with that.
Well, that win today also sparks the very first win for the Toyota Supra and ARC Racing. So congratulations to you and good job for that. And I believe it was also Savoy also mentioned a good point that I believe at going into this race, you and Danes were tied for podium positions on overall, and I believe you happened to beat him with 14 podium positions now overall in ARC. So congratulations on that.
Thanks. I got no idea, to be honest. I don't track the stats all that much, to be honest. But yeah, that's cool to know. I'm happy with that. It's another win in the bag again, isn't it? So yeah, I'm really happy with it, man. Yeah, really good.
All right. Well,
I hope it was. Gone. Sorry.
I was just gonna say thank you for the interview, and hopefully we get to see you have a strong performance at Laguna Seca as well.
Yeah, thank you. Speak to you soon.
All right, let's go on to the man who finished second. Let's jump on board with Nugatti and see what he has to say. Nugatti, you here?
Hello.
Hello, Nugatti. A very strong race for you today. A strong second place finish where you were battling with the lead throughout most of the race, and even Kobu at the beginning there. What was in your side of things going on there with Kobu going up into the mountain there when he happened to spin? What's your side of things?
I mean, I would say I don't quite know. I have to look it back. But yeah, the previous times I've gone in there, too wide, it usually doesn't work out. But yeah, I don't know. I would just like to apologize, I guess. But yeah, I don't know what else I could do. I just held a very tight line. So I don't know. It's very unfortunate that I, bumped him and he spun out. So, but yeah, overall, I guess it was a very good race.
Well, it was a very good race. You've definitely had the pace. You've been one of the guys who, regardless of the track we're on, have definitely been up there with always fighting for that podium position, which has definitely been a breakout season for you, especially after winning that Tier B championship last season. Going on in your battle with Kobu, and even towards the end there when you were fighting with Chile after the second round of pit stops, what was going through your head?
Yeah, when I saw Chile getting in between me and Alex, I thought I was, yeah, I'm done for here. I thought, I was thinking that, yeah, Chile would definitely hold me up, and then, yeah, Alex would just disappear into the distance, and yeah, once I got past Chile, that was also a little bit of a scary incident. I don't know if I hit him off there or something like that, but yeah, I knew I didn't have a chance once Alex was ahead of Chile. So yeah, I was just trying to get past him as fast as possible, but sadly Alex had built up yeah, around a 6 second gap, so I knew I couldn't catch that up.
Now, as I mentioned before, we do happen to be having the round three, what was supposed to be round three of the championship. Laguna Seca be postponed until next week due to connection issues. So, what's your thoughts on that race? How do you feel like perhaps you're going to perform as well there as you did here? Do you feel like you're going to keep up your strong results so far, or do you feel like that might be your weak race for you?
No, I think it's a very strong race because in practice I have been, yeah, I would say dominating. But yeah, so I feel like that will be a very strong race as long as yeah, I stay ahead and don't make any mistakes. I think that that might be a very strong race. So yeah, we'll see. It'll be interesting.
Well, congratulations on your second place finish today, and hopefully we get to see you perhaps fighting for that championship at the end of the year.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, let's move on to the man who had quite the eventful race himself. Chile, are you here?
Hello.
Hello, Chile. As I mentioned, you had quite an eventful race yourself. Throughout most of the race, the beginning stint, you were sitting in fourth, and then come to pit stops. So you decided to go for the early set of softs. What was your mentality going for that strategy?
Well, the thing is that I was hoping to make the jump on the guys in front uh, with them because I knew that I didn't have the medium pace to keep up with them. So I decided to try and get back in their slipstream, just use the softs and potentially bridge a gap to Alex. But then Nuggy had enough of a straight line speed on me and stuff, and just the battling meant us we lost Alex, and at that point then Kobe got involved, and obviously I had the incident with Nuggy as well, which is going to go into the stewards. So in all honesty, he that incident with Nuggy was pretty much both of us sharing it. I gave him some, he gave back. I came off worse. It's racing, but that's just the way it is. But that's why I went soft, hoping to get Alex. It just didn't work out.
Well, you definitely had a very strong race there, but towards the end of the stint there, when everyone else switched to the soft tires and you had to switch back to the mediums, there was definitely that point where you saw PK closing and closing and closing, and then Kobu got involved there. What was going through your head there? What were you trying to do everything you could to keep PK behind, and what was your thoughts as a driver?
Kind of hoping that PK wouldn't get involved, to be honest, because he's not fighting for anything. But he's racing; it's fine. In regards to obviously this race, he can do what he likes. But when he got passed through on the mountain or whenever it was, I can't remember, first corner. My thought was just get through the mountain as easy as possible, get down it, and then blast past him on the Conrod straight, because obviously he's in the Alpha, so it's not got the greatest straight line speed. So that was the plan. Obviously, we all know what happened, and it didn't work. But
Well, so far this season, I don't mean to be a bit of a bummer, but the Citroen in this season perhaps hasn't been as strong as it was back in season 3. We were scoring consistent podium finishes. Do you feel perhaps that BOP change that we had before, that what was supposed to be the Laguna Seca race, perhaps is definitely hindering you for the rest of the season? Or do you feel like you can actually make June perhaps still fight for the good podium spot come the end of the championship?
to be honest, it's just been I've had a couple of incident-filled races. It's not the Citroen as such. It's been me. Obviously, I could have won RBR, didn't, spun it on the curb. Monza, I pitted too early, just going for a different strategy. This one, I got hit off. It's just the way it goes. Definitely, the car feels different to before the BOP change. But in all honesty, that's just the way it is. Like I'm getting used to it again and finding the pace back. I'm surprised I even got fourth on the grid here. I wasn't particularly enjoying it in practice, so I'm not going to use it as an excuse. It's just a case of learning it. As you saw, the strategy nearly worked out with regards to I caught Nuggy and Alex up in the pits, so it's definitely stronger. I just need to keep working with it and find my pace from last season again.
Well, as I mentioned in the other interviews here, we do have that round 3, or what was supposed to be round 3, coming up next week. Do you feel like you might perhaps be on for a good result or a finish there at Laguna Seca?
To be honest, I don't even know if I'm going to be entering it because of the way it's been reorganized. It's just an issue. Because the lockdown might end in the UK on Thursday, and if that's the case, then I'm probably going to be going out and seeing people I haven't seen in forever, like family and things. So that takes precedence for me. Unfortunately, I say unfortunately, but you know what I mean. So yeah, I don't think I'll be entering that if the lockdown ends. But if we are still in lockdown, then definitely I'll be there, and we'll see what happens. Again, I'm further up the grid than I thought, but it could be better. And yeah, we'll wait and see.
All right. Well, congratulations on your finish today, and hopefully we get to still see you up there in the championship come the end of it.
Yeah, I'll try my best. Cheers.
All right. It looks like we have one more interview here today. Let's jump on board with the, I would say, the main Scuderia Powerpuff Girls driver in the Corvette, Wise Guy.
Hello.
Hello, Wise Guy. I do want to ask you, your race was a bit quiet towards the back there. What was it like driving the Corvette around the Bathurst?
The thing about the Corvette is it got a big change, I would say, when the update came along. The car became a lot heavier, and it feels like it lacks a lot of turn in. And that's not a big factor at Bathurst, but it did definitely come into play, especially on older tires. It was a lot harder to get good turn in. But as far as actually how the racing was, I think it could have gotten more. Maybe up to seventh. Maybe for a top five, but that's stretching it. But in the middle stint on the mediums, I got stuck in a fight. That was just between myself and Wah and Jake Dan Harry, and we just slowed each other down for the entirety of the middle stint. The gap between me and Thomas after exiting the pits was about 3 seconds. By the end of the stint, it was 12 seconds, so there was no recovering that. Almost caught up to Stig. Looks like he was struggling on the very end, but I had to save fuel on the last lap, so I'd take a ninth, all things considered.
Well, so far you have been leading the way in terms of points for your team, Scuderia Powerpuff Girls. We do have the next race, or what was supposed to be round 3, Laguna Seca, now happening next Sunday. Do you perhaps feel like Corvette might be better suited to that track over Bathurst, or do you still feel like you might be struggling there for some solid points?
Unfortunately, I did not qualify for that event. I was in Lobby B.
Oh,
Finished
sorry.
third there. Yep. Yeah, Laguna Seca was a struggle for me all the time. I just always felt like I was on the edge, but then I hit the interval and I was solid half a second behind even the other Corvettes. So can't blame the car, just not very good there apparently.
Well, you had a pretty decent race out there. You had some pretty good racing. You were mixing up with guys that we have seen up there before. Do you feel like you're going to perhaps maybe over the course of the season, what do you feel is your prediction or any goals set for yourself? Or do you think perhaps you're going to see yourself climbing up the ladder as we start to see some other tracks emerge in the championship?
Looking at the rest of the schedule, sort of a toss-up. Brands Hatch, I don't expect to do very well. The Corvette's not suited to that track. But then we've got tracks like Brazil, which is one of the Corvette's better tracks, I would say. But I'm just probably want to stay where I am, like middle tier A. I want to try and qualify for as many tier A races as possible. I want to avoid stuff like Laguna Seca happening again, where I'm just off the pace all the time. So I guess that's my goal, just middle of the pack tier A. I don't think I'm going to climb above that, but if I can, that'd be really good.
All right. Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that will conclude our driver interviews for today. We want to thank you all for joining us for this racing. We're doing our best to try and make sure we bring the most quality to you. And again, sorry for the the delays trying to start the race. We're doing our best trying to deal with the connection issues we have in Gran Turismo Sport. Ladies and gentlemen, just have a simple reminder, if you want to keep updates on everything on ARC, all the championships that we run, all the results, finishes, points, everything, feel free to follow us on ARC_PS4 over on Twitter. We post pictures of the races, we post replays, all the links to our streams are also get posted there, so feel free to do that. Be watching us here on YouTube, feel free to hit that subscribe button. It means a lot to us and it helps grow us, and don't forget to leave that like too. The likes also help grow our community and everything. And if you ever feel interested in joining us over here on ARC or want to compete against the guys that you see, there's a link down in the description to join us here at the Discord. Anyone and everyone is welcome, and anyone can join any race they want. We do have the little stipulation of the rookie series to make sure that you're a clean driver. We do try to make sure everyone that joins is a clean driver. So there is a little bit of a hiccup for some people, but I'm sure that I assure you, a rookie series doesn't have anything to do about pace. It's just to make sure you aren't a hazard to other drivers on track. So if you want to try and join, or just have a league to hop in, embrace, or talk with people in the Discord, feel free to join us there. And of course, if you want to support us over at ARC, it would mean a lot to us over in teespring.com/stores/adrenaline-racing-community, where you can check out our merch store. You get t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, stickers that you can see on the screen there. I have a hoodie myself. The quality is absolutely fantastic. We have a few people in the Discord picking up a bit of merch themselves, and they're all saying the thing is absolutely, the quality of it is fantastic, and all the proceeds going to help us in buying trophies for people who are champions at the end of the year, and any extra we may have, who knows, one season we could have a prize pool for the end. But that only happens if we have people supporting us and donating to us in the Discord. So if you like what you see, if you have a bit of extra cash, you're not planning on spending anything, perhaps consider throwing it at us our way. It would definitely help us a lot. But ladies and gentlemen, that will conclude our broadcast for today. My name is Malaro G. My co-commentator's name was my Savloy, and that was round 4 at Bathurst. Don't forget to join us next week for what was supposed to be round 3 at Laguna Seca, but is now the upcoming Sunday on May 10th for Laguna Seca. So we'll have a race then. Feel free to join us there for that. But ladies and gentlemen, that will conclude our broadcast for today. Once again, thank you for joining us. And don't forget to keep racing.